Welcome back to Rush of Madness. This is session number 26 entitled We Are. We had a little bit of a hiatus there for Gen Con, but we are back into the swing of things. At the end of last session, we were starting a process which, after much review on my own part, I felt was going to take more time than was absolutely necessary. So we're going to streamline the process for crew acquisition for the boat. Um, so that we can kind of get it to an easier process. Here, I'm going to ask each individual to select one person from the list of possible crewmates that are available. Again, seeking them out in town was the original plan, but yeah, just thinking about it.
We changed our minds. We made a job fair.
Yeah, we're gonna do a job fair. They come to you instead of you hunt them down. So I know that everybody in this group is just going to try and say the exact same name immediately because you have no chill, and
I'm resisting.
well, obviously he's
I don't know
gonna
the name.
he's gonna end up on the crew. We get it, but I do want to make sure we all have a good voice for it. So I am going to start with Tom, and we're going to go from left to right. So one nomination for individual. When you say it, I'll post the picture up, and then we'll kind of set them onto the docket for the
Okay,
interview
so
process.
I guess I'm the one that's supposed to say it then.
You can say whatever you want.
I guess Ickenthoth, the deep one, Beholderkin boats right.
Yep. So Ickenthoth, he will be the first one on the docket. Great. All right, Elizabeth. You so there's nothing. I have no reason why you couldn't say the exact same name. It could just be like, no, you won't have multiple Ickenthoths. It'll just be
Why
Damn
can't
one.
we have multiple? Why can't we have a crew of like 16
Because
Ickenthoths? Why do
We
we
need
gotta
an
be sure?
archmage that can clone people. Come on.
no, no, you don't. Because Beholder can typically breed asexually and basically try to create a perfect representation or like duplicate of themselves. Because anything outside of that, they wouldn't see as
It
true
sounds like the
Beholder.
job fair's done. Then we're set.
No crew.
But
Just
Perfect.
that.
They're
Now we just gotta find the
renaming ship to
buffet.
one eye.
I suggest anybody who's interested in beholderkin breeding processes or asexual
Please
reproduction
attend.
processes.
Please attend John's TED talk.
We put them in the hold and tell them to
I was going to
reproduce.
suggest the book I Tyrant, but I guess I can do a TED talk about it. That's fine. So Ickenthoth has been selected by Tom. Elizabeth, do you have anybody on the list that you are particularly interested in meeting with?
Just for boats, right? Or just
No,
in
so this doesn't
general?
have to be for any specific role. Keep in mind the crew that you require is not a small one. You'll need about
Yeah.
11 individuals on staff for each shift. So
Okay.
at minimum, you're probably going to have like 20 people total, including yourselves.
Right. Sorry, I'm trying to.
No problem.
The images are so tiny. Um. Which one was it? It was. What was that
If you
one?
need a second, I
She
can
just
switch
looks
to the next
cool.
person. It's
I'm
up to
just
you.
trying to find the other cool sword wielder. She just looks like fire.
You were looking for a lady that's a sword wielder, you said?
Yeah, she's also an elf. My Myvar?
Malgath Arnodal is a man, not a.
No.
She.
Miavar. That's it.
Uh,
The one in D1.
Miavar, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah. She looks cool.
All right, that's number two, and then next on the docket is Jonah.
Oh.
Oh, I should have said. Oh.
Ickenthoth. Yeah, I know. Everybody should've.
No. Realized I had another, but that's just Elizabeth talking, not.
Yeah, you got more than we get one more than one vote.
I'll go with Morrison, the quartermaster.
Oh, Morrison. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. And then Zach.
Um,
I'm not sure which one this is. but looking at the pictures, I'm
Yeah.
going to have to go with A3 because as a music lover, we need some blues.
Is it Esmera?
What was the name again?
I don't know what the name
Oh,
was.
got it.
It's A3.
Oh, that's the
A3.
a Tom. No, yeah, a Tom Forehands.
Oh, Four Hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fitting name, yeah. That guy.
The Vidalkin, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking at?
I don't know. It's a yes, whatever that
That one?
species is.
This guy?
Yes, that guy
Okay, cool. Aton. And then we have...
or individual. I'm not.
Yeah, so we'll get to pronouns and the like once we get into the bit. They're obviously something that will be in the interview process. But Foxen, who do we want?
B3. Hanlid.
Okay.
Hanlid. Sure.
Yeah, Hanild is the main pronunciation.
Hanlid.
Yep. And okay, so starting from the first one out, so we kind of, and I'll go ahead and just move us back to that map because it was relatively easy. We kind of had a little bit of, oh, I see what's happening. Hold on a second here. Bip, 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 and boop, boop, boop. My music is going to die for a second. I forgot to join as player, so there we go. So we kind of spent some time in the tap room, which my notes tell me the name of which is the Moldy Horn. You folks can go ahead and situate yourself wherever you want in this space. I haven't made tokens for everybody, so we're just going to use a question mark as the presumptive position for that individual, whoever you're interviewing, and in this case you'll be interviewing Iconthad. Where'd he go? Alright, so Iconthoth. When you ask Iconthoth to come in, they will enter into the space, and they'll kind of just float into the space and not really enter into the booth. They'll just kind of hover at the edge of the table, strangely, to be sure. But yeah, that's where they post up. There's a bit of drool running out of their face. You'll note that their body is kind of a rubbery material, very much like the same kind of consistency, or at least it looks like it would be the same kind of consistency as like a squid. It has kind of like a rubbery like aspect to it, but a slight kind of light bluish aquamarine color that's present all throughout it. There are some patches on its skin where there's kind of a red-ish kind of scale-like buildup, and looking at it closely, it has the same consistency as like calcium buildup in water. It's just kind of like this brittle-looking material that kind of flakes in some parts. Their mouth is filled with razor-sharp, shark-like teeth. They do have two appendages, which are... They look like there are joints in them, but the more you kind of look at them and kind of realize, it just seems that the flesh is kind of created wrinkles in spaces where it bends more often than not. The edge of their appendages are kind of sharp red, similar in kind to the strange deposits that build up around the eyes. It looks like a just more hardened version of that same material. He wears a backpack. The backpack is hung strap-wise over the back two eyes, and Beholderkin, they have 4 eye stalks on their head, and those who are kind of knowledgeable about Beholderkin would know that this one is a deepkin, which means that they have kind of bright lights that they can emanate out of their main eye there, and other cool stuff. So they kind of Boat? You got a boat? Whoever wants to lead on the interviewing process, that would basically be them. After
Yeah,
having
I think
been-
it's Orlandus's boat, so
just like
Shit.
you're hired. Literally no interview.
No, we just like the cut of your jib.
He's like our
Yes, we
he's
do.
our version of Groot. He just says whatever, and we're like, I agree.
Absolutely, you're right. That is correct.
That's a great plan, but I don't know if I can fit that much marmalade in my mouth. But shit. Don't post that in memes.
Damn it.
I said do not do it.
I was already doing.
But they kind of are floating there, say, "You got a boat?" And that's kind of where they went with that.
See if I remember Orlandus's voice. Yes, we have a boat. What is it that you do?
I make sure the boat is a boat.
You fix the boat.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you any good at it?
No. No.
I mean, making sure the boat is a boat seems important.
How long have you
You're hired.
worked on boats?
How good could he be? He got fired.
A while. Long time. About 18 years.
That is good.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna sell after all that work, but I'll keep trying. That's just a joke. I've been in the industry for 18 years, not working on the same boat for that long.
That is good. That is good. Okay. If you would like to, could you float outside just to take a look at our boat and see if it is sailworthy?
Oh, I already saw it on the way in. Yeah, it's fine.
Is it? Oh,
It's
okay.
got a
Does
couple
it?
bits of dust on it. Probably needs someone to knock loose the pieces that need moving.
Mm.
But other than that, looks like a pretty sturdy ship. Good keel. Nothing wrong with it.
Okay. How do you all feel about this?
I think we need somebody that makes sure the boat is a boat.
How long are you planning to be at sea, and where are we headed on our first tour?
Hold on. I wrote it down. I wrote it down somewhere. I know we're going to Parnak, but I can't remember specifically where. Sargate? City of Sargate?
Well, it's a bit inland. Might need to stop somewhere near to there. That's fine. Okay, so what? Looking about like half a month, couple 6 day. Is that right?
Yes. That is where we are going.
We're not
Will
going
it-
through Dayut, are we?
Through Deus?
Dayut. It's a
Dayut.
town to the north of here.
Don't think so.
Okay,
Can I see the
good.
map?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't think it goes through Deus.
So, if you're trying to get to Sorrowgate, which I don't think is where we said, I thought we were going.
Oh no.
You're wanting to go home, right?
I'm going to go home.
Yeah. Was it Sargate or Aegon?
Yeah, so you live in Sorrowgate, but on the Aegon-Sorrowgate border, which means that we'd be entering through here. And you don't, being a landlubber, you probably don't know the name of the port town that's kind of connected here.
Okay. So
Which is David.
would we go through Deus?
No, you could, but I'd be opposed to it, and if that's your plan, I'm not for it.
If I may, why not say
It's a
what is wrong?
shithole. Bunch of bandits steal everybody's shit, pirates, all that.
Oh, I see.
Fuck that.
Is there another port town that goes to Sarrowgate?
Yeah, there's a couple of them there on the ridges. I don't know them by name. If I had a map, well, that's not what I do. I'm sure you have a navigator. They could probably figure it out.
Yes.
Okay, great. So then, yeah, that one of them, just not David.
Okay, not David. We'll go somewhere else.
The real shithole.
Shithole. Okay.
Noted.
I just imagine like his phrasing right there. He's like pen and paper on the David shithole. Okay.
Throwing spittle at us when he said it.
Underline it 3 times.
But yeah, I
So we will find another way.
don't have my own tools, so I would need you to provide some carpenter's tools. And also, if that's the trip that you're taking, just to, I'd say any one of the port towns around the ridges would be fine. 2 weeks, pretty simple tour. I would say probably cost you 100 gold for me for that.
Seems reasonable
Yeah.
for your experience.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm pretty good at repairs on the way, so most boat rides require you to kind of dock and moor. They can do light repairs, but I can kind of get under the ship, around the ship. I got a swim speed.
Very good.
That is good.
Yeah.
Well, I like you so far.
Okay.
I guess you are hired.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. No contract or anything to sign or anything? Or are you just gonna pay up front?
Could we pay half now and half when we get there? Would you be okay with that?
I mean, it's more than fine.
Okay. Do you have any recommendations?
For what, paying me? Now's good.
Well, no, I know that, but I mean for other crewmates, people that you have gotten along with, or people that you have worked with.
I'll be honest, I don't like most folks who work in the same area as I do, so it's honestly a breath of fresh air to have folks like you out and about. So I don't know. Depends on what you're getting up to. I mean, it's just a tour to get to Parnak. There's nothing planned along the way. No stops. No exploration. No other activities on the open waves.
Well, there may be danger ahead,
Yeah.
but I'm assuming that comes with the job.
I'll be honest. I mean, I was thinking about teaming up with some folks who were passing through these parts not long ago, but they ultimately found a different boat, right? And they were planning on doing some high seas banditry. So I don't mind whatever you're planning on doing. If it's just a simple trip, that's fine too. Whatever pays, I guess. But yeah, I don't mind. I'm not gonna have too many qualms about anything you folks are wanting to do. My job's my job, and I'll do it. And even if that means I have to repair the ship after you're putting it in danger, that's fine.
Well, I appreciate your candor. And your name is?
Ikenthal.
We were the ones who
Orlandis.
asked for Morlandis.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You've forgotten already?
How could you forget? I mean, look at this face.
Reference.
Are you kidding
An
me?
extra long, drool strand.
Dropping down. Hilarious. Okay, so is that an official hiring?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we have a boat right. Okay, so who is next on the docket? I already know, but I'm just making sure you folks are keeping up since he just forgot the whole last name of the person we were talking to.
Oh no, I didn't forget it was for roleplay.
You asked beforehand.
Yeah,
That's fair.
assume
That's
you
fair.
know their name.
Yeah.
Not bad, homies.
It was Maeva, right? Or was it Elizabeth the second?
So
Yeah.
the second one was Elizabeth, so that would have been
Maevar.
Mia.
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 Okay. So
Yeah, but
Mamma Mia.
Mamma mia!
she comes in and she says, "Are you you're the one looking for crew, yeah?
yes, that would be us.
Great. And so I've already been introduced, yeah. It's we don't have to do any of the pleasantries. Have you already done your homework and whatnot? You already asked the constable and what have you about me
Yes.
and everything." She sits down.
Yes.
She places her sword, which is an elvish thin blade, out on the table, kind of looking at you. Oh, everybody's in the wrong squares. I just realized.
Oh shit, we are.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm Tom.
No, you can't be Tom, possibly.
Tom Zach. Zach is
Uh,
me.
Hooray!
Jonah, as always.
Oh my god, I almost said this. Oh my god.
Not on the stream. I was like, wait.
My mind goes to the darkest joke immediately. I hate it. I don't want to think anymore. She says, so I'm assuming you already did that, or do you have any questions that you didn't get answered by the constable or whatnot?
Well, what is it that you are proficient in? What
Killing.
can you do? Healing.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
good at killing.
Oh, killing. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the opposite.
I thought you
Oh.
said healing. I'm sorry. Well, yes, we could use that.
Uh-huh.
Do you do anything on the ship or for the ship?
So I used to run with the Checkered Scarves back in the 20s, and then I got into some work doing some highwaymanry round about Lavidia, outside of Penford. Then there's a Ionian Fox started doing their horse riding in Gallivanting, and that was problematic. So I just headed west because the horse folk were looking east, and made my way through Ionis. Pretty boring fucking city, that. And I caught a boat ride not too far from there, and well, I've done some boat work, mostly smash and grab operations. Yeah, my accent's changed a couple times in this whole sentence, but it's fine. I think I got a handle on it, but I just keep messing it up at the end there.
It's okay.
In there.
A little bit Australian at the end. It doesn't want to be, but you know.
If you need to recenter, John, remember Spice Girls forever.
Spice
Then you lock in.
Forever. She's supposed to be kind of Irishy, but look all the Irish. Oh.
Irish.
She says, but yeah, it's simple crew work. I understand. I can do manual labor. You know, it's a lot of work killing a man, so it's pretty much every other activity is a little less taxing. Yeah.
All right. Kill. Okay, we could use that somewhere. All right. Aside from killing and manual labor and banditry,
Was that what you're not getting on about then?
well, no, this is good. We could use that in case we happen upon another boat that is less than friendly.
Is that the plan?
No, we
Oh.
just
Well,
want to go to Sarrogate.
No, I'm good. She stands up and she just starts to walk out.
Oh,
I don't think it would be very fun for her.
probably not.
And what do you mean? We need a killer.
Well, it would help.
You
Got
already have a
food.
dragon killer. What more could you need?
Yeah, we got her. We got that one. He seems capable enough. Points over to.
The assassin. These-
Yes.
so, um,
And then
What's that
he-
one?
I think we're pretty covered on that.
Okay.
Miavar, after she leaves, the barkeep Kenneth says, I kind of overheard a bit what was going on with you folks. A lot of the people you're probably going to be propositioning for work in these parts are definitely looking out for a bit more high stakes work. Pays better.
Mm.
Unless you're going to pay them an exorbitant amount in salary to be bored for, you said it was going to be 2 weeks to your trip. So
Just
you
about.
you might want to lead with salary next time, because that'll probably keep them seated. Otherwise, if you're just going on a pleasure cruise, those folks probably aren't going to be terribly interested. But I guarantee you're going to need the help.
Mm.
All right, moving on to the next person. Do you remember who it was? They're all out of
My
names.
person, so
Look at my list again. What was the name?
Morrison
Morrison.
Morrison.
sits down across from you. So, you're looking for a quartermaster for your ship?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you going?
Sarrowgate.
You going through Dayet?
No.
Why not?
Our shipwright does not like it.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's fine. If we're going up to the ridges, one of the ports there, I guess I can help you. Shouldn't be an issue.
What are you good at?
Well, I've done every single job on a ship there is to be done.
Mm.
I like the peace and calm of a crow's nest. It's real nice. But I understand that with an inexperienced lot like yourself will probably be required to stay on deck and make sure that the people you pay in coin are doing what they have to do to earn it. And that's fine. I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff. See, the best part of making sure everybody does their job on a ship is a camaraderie that comes in it. I can help you in your hiring process too if you need. I figure just by the look of you and your friends here, you're not terribly ship-minded. Might have some knack for it, but probably haven't ever gone out on a boat in the clear blue.
That is correct. Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I personally like the land.
Yeah, that's fine. I promise you, after a fashion, you're gonna learn to miss it, but at the same time, you're gonna learn that it's not terribly important either. It's just really a matter of perspective. You're out on the
And,
land. Oh, sorry, I was gonna start rambling, but
Oh.
that's fine. Go ahead. You had a question.
Well, I just wanted to know how long have you been in the business, so to speak?
Well, I was about to wax poetic about my opinions regarding seeing no land on the horizon and that being kind of a calming thing. But yeah, 25 years, I think. Sounds about fair. 2 or 3 decades.
That's good.
You can take it as you is. I don't think I've ever been on a ship that didn't end up scuttled. But none of the crew that I think I've ever met died while they were on my, on my crew, or with me as a member of their crew. So
Okay.
one really foolhardy captain.
And what was his or her name?
So his name went by Cherub. He was a tiefling fellow, and we got caught out south of here. near the old High Strike Bay, and the Coastal Guard moved on our ship with 2 crafts. For some reason, he wanted to fight, but everybody started to, understandably, disagree in a more forcible manner than words. And when the ships came into earshot, they yelled for us to surrender. And our captain told the captain of the other ship that approached us first that if he wanted to spare his entire crew, he'd have to fight one-on-one in a duel on the deck of their ship.
I see.
I used the opportunity of him getting murdered by their captain to move our ship closer to land. Their ballista fire hit us below the water line and scuttled the ship right there on shore, but not a single one of those crew members, save that captain, was really hurt or captured. So, yeah, word is, at least according to the bards that fancy the Coastal Guard in Old Highstrick, is the man was cut from navel to neck, and all his guts and shit fell out. But anyway, so if you're not partial to the ship, I'm more interested in the people on the ship than the craft itself.
I like that. I think I will hire you.
Great. So I'll just name my price. If we're heading to the ridges, I'm thinking 500 gold pieces. And mind you, most of that's going to be a deposit based on the fact that you're employing me for less than a year's worth of work, which isn't very common. Sounds like you're just going on a nice little pleasure cruise with your new boat and everything. Now the 500 is quite a bit, but if you have repeat work for me, there will be discounts. You'll be basically paying towards something in the future. Sound fair? But if you're one and done in me, then I'm just gonna take the money and run, so to speak. Makes it fair for me, because, can't sign a whole year's contract now with someone else, and makes it fair for you if you are interested in doing some other sailing.
Oh, it is a little expensive, but I think it will be worth the cost, especially with your years of experience and how you care more about the crew than the actual ship.
Another thing I'm going to require too is a formal contract of that. So if you have an attendant or something to that effect, you want to have them draw it up, that'd be fine.
Yes.
And I currently am staying at the library, just on the other side of the cove here. And you can go ahead and have your attendant or one of your associates here deliver that to me when they feel ready to do so. We'll get to the signing process therein. I'm sure you got a lot of folks you're probably seeing today, and free bit of advice: don't jump on the first boat. Maybe see a couple of people and think it through. But I do appreciate you connecting with me, and I look forward to you sending that contract over.
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Morrison.
He stands up, heads out. He left his arbalist over at the door, and he'll take that with him.
When he leaves, he's just gonna look at everyone. I like him.
He seems very level-headed and business-minded. Pretty good.
He's a Barnon.
Agreed.
Contracts. Pretty smart.
Yeah, so
Oh,
he's
Dolph, could you work on that
yeah,
if he's in?
of course, my lord. And he'll kind of sit at a table, pull out paper and ink, and kind of get to work on that. Your next person that you've got on the docket is also a person for quartermaster, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I gave you the out of if you want to kind of see both and not hire too quick.
Yeah.
Also, it sounded like something Morrison would say. So the next one on the docket is Atan Forehands, who is also a quartermaster.
Okay. Okay.
He would come in. He's familiar to some of you, those of you who went to the Boatwrights hall. He sits down across from Orlandis and crosses his arms, his lower arms under the table and his upper arms over the table. So,
Oh.
you need assistance with a quartermaster? Is that right?
Yes, we have one other applicant for the position, but the other applicant can do other things as well.
Okay.
Are you mostly proficient in quartermastery, or do
So,
you have other things?
most quartermasters who are worth their salt are probably going to be able to do most jobs on a ship. But that being said, I'm not interested in any other jobs. If I'm going to be leaving the area for any duration of time,
Mm.
I very much prefer it to be a situation where I can kind of ask for top billing financially. I am in close ties and association with the Boatwrights Hall here. I have guild membership in a number of different shipwrights guilds throughout Jernaris, and a few in Parnak, mostly in the kingdoms of Sorrowgate, and also the Imperial section of Persalwell. I have done quite a bit of travel outside of the material plane. My people were spatially locked in the astral sea, the near astral, and our ship crashed here when I was very, very young. You probably haven't seen too many of my kind due to the fact that we aren't a common sight. I think I know all of the other members of my species that are on the plane. But that said, we are a people who are very cunning, very understanding of methodologies, and also very understanding of what needs to be done for a correct answer, correct response.
Mm.
I am not going to be cheap, and I will not sign up for anything less than a year's tour. My hope is that you and your journeys will be heading as far east as Rostakar, but I am more than willing to go anywhere as long as it's on the southern coasts, the Shattered Coast, into the Dragon's Bay, the Imperial Province of Persalwell, the Ridges, what have you.
Mm.
I can make my way in other ways that way, but again, as I said, a year's tour is preferred. I would like a contract that is worth my time, rather than something I would just be kind of moving out and left to the winds again, similarly to what's happened to me in my current position. A crew, an individual named Albrecht,
Mm.
parked his boat here, and I believe that's the same boat that we'll be taking out. Is that right?
Yes, I inherited it from him.
Did he still
Inherited.
have the treasure hold in the bottom floor?
Yes.
So that's what you'll be paying me with. Interesting. Well, then I obviously know what you have financially, and despite that, we'll still only ask for what I feel is due. 750 gold pieces per quarter, and I would like the first year's contract paid up front. Understandably, that is a lot of money. I will not be taking the majority of it with me. It will be signed into bank contract. You are heading north into the kingdom of Sorrowgate, is what I was told. So upon arrival in the region, the first Imperial Bank that we are able to find is where I'll be taking my payment. I will try and draft a contract, or if you would prefer to draft a contract regarding the matter, um, you would basically be agreeing to the matter of paying me for a year upon first entry into a city within Imperial Bank. Fair?
Yes, but I do have one question.
Of course.
How do you feel about the crew? If we were to come into a dire situation, would you save the crew or the ship?
So, a very interesting question, and I understand the measure of it. I think I get the meaning of it. Most ship owners are more concerned about their own well being rather than the craft that they pilot. And I say most because most people who own a ship are more concerned with what the ship can do for them rather than
Mhm.
understanding that the ship itself is a thing that requires care and concern. And hopefully, you have a boat's right that's good to make sure that the day to day is being handled. And so, if you hired a boat's right that could keep a ship well to do, then that crew member would be worth more than the ship, assuredly. Now, if you have a crew of individuals who you've hired that are also keen on making sure the ship sails perfectly and is unerringly going to the location, performing the task that the captain and owner wishes for it to do, then that crew does sound like it would be worth keeping alive. But if you hire a bunch of ne'er do wells and individuals who are up to no good, who wish nothing more than to use their ship as a means to board other ships and take from them, then no, I would not care about those crew because they don't care for themselves. Are you hiring a crew of that lot, or are we interested more in a ship for exploratory purposes?
It is exploratory. I do not wish to have ne'er-do-wells on the ship.
That sounds like
Thought
this
we were
would be.
picking up allies.
I'm sorry, milady.
Oh,
Was that to
so
Orlando's or?
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Thought we were picking up
Um,
allies.
that is the goal. Yes. But exploration is also a secondary goal.
When you say allies, it's usually a terminology that's used in the matters of war. You're not associated with anything that's happening in closer in India, are you?
Is he talking
Not
about the
the airships and stuff.
yeah,
Dennis Softens, he
the
says.
Cinnabot?
Um,
Not directly, but not exactly
yes,
friendly with them.
we are indirectly
So you just mean the term.
involved.
I'm sorry. So he kind of leans forward. His lower hands come up as well, and he kind of leans in. I just want to understand correctly, so that there are no deceptions, no misunderstandings. You wish to take your ship to pick up allies in Parnak and return them here for conflict with the Denisovans. Is that fair to say?
Not again, not directly.
So it does sound like you aren't exactly sure what you're wanting to do, and it does
We're
seem
also
as though
trying to figure out what's going on a little bit. Because
Yes.
who our allies were may not have actually been our allies. It's very unclear.
Then I'll ask the question more plainly so that it can be interpreted in a matter that cuts to the heart of what I'm asking instead of allowing for you to escape it. Are you intending for this ship to aid in any way the conflict of the former Levidians against the Denisovans?
Hold on, let me roll a wisdom check.
Oh.
Let me roll a wisdom.
Vidal is calculating,
yeah, I
absolutely,
know.
like narrowing down the
So-
conversation to the heart of it.
10 and under,
Oh
Cool.
no.
it's gonna be a yes. 10 and above, or sorry, 9 and under, yes. 10 and above, no. Or wisdom save, here we go.
Straight 19.
Straight 19. No.
And is that a lie? Out of character.
Originally, no. Like, I planned on using the ship to go to Parnac to visit family and see what the fuck happened with my uncle.
Okay, so I just want to be sure that's not going to be a lie. That's not a lie, right?
No.
Okay, because then it's a different role than a wisdom save, my guy. It's a
Yeah.
deception roll.
Yeah. Sorry.
He kind of looks at you. Okay. I wouldn't have minded it. But at the same time, that is an investiture that's a bit different than what I understand it to be. So your ship, as it was explained to me, is planning for the shorthand to travel to Parnac via the ridges and make your way inland towards some sort of town or what have you. That's not a problem for me.
Okay.
Not that entering into conflict would be a problem, just something I would have to prepare for a little bit more diligently and request more, of course. Keeping that in mind, just since you are, well, at least up into that last question, we're unsure of how to answer, I will put it this way. The contract, as I've stipulated, is as it stands for exploration and transportation. Nothing more. If you start entering into political conflicts, we will have to renegotiate, and I'll make sure that that is placed in the contract when I bring it to you later this afternoon. Fair.
Okay. That seems fair. And
I guess I'm being presumptuous, though. You said you had other members who would be signing up for the quartermaster position, as it is the only position I'm concerned about. Do you wish to have me draft the contract and bring it to you, or do you have no desire to finish this? And out of character, this is a point for you as player characters, or as players, to discuss out of character, like, is this a character worth keeping or not?
alright, y'all. How do you guys feel? I personally like how calculating he is.
I am.
But
3,000 gold is a lot for an upfront payment.
that is true. That is very true.
750 times 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not cheap.
Yeah, he wants the gold up front.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like just to have him as a quartermaster, like strictly quartermaster, it'd be a little odd.
Yeah, because then he's basically playing second fiddle to the captain, and the
Yeah.
first mate will obviously have overruling power. But
Yeah, that's we can't have him play second fiddle because the homie Lose is the first mate.
right. I mean, they're obviously going to butt heads,
Yeah,
or she'll
Lose is gonna fight him.
or she'll like him a lot, and they'll be best friends.
No,
Depends
they gonna
how
fight.
things go.
They're gonna fight. But then there's also the possibility of us getting into a skirmish in the middle of the water while we travel, and then him just not helping
Why would he not help though?
because it's on the contract. But no, he said we would have to talk about the contract, right?
That's
if that
only
does
if it's
happen.
We should
political.
renegotiate. Give him 250 now for the trip, and we'll figure it out when we get there.
So he specifically said,
Yeah.
if you're fighting, that's not a problem. If you're getting into political conflicts, that's different.
Political.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, if we pursue the
war.
allies that Albrecht wrote the note about,
Mm-hmm.
of like, hey, go here to get allies, and that's why Lose's like, I thought we were just gonna get allies.
Yeah.
Mm.
When that was stated, it immediately switched his brain. Because again, remember, he traveled with Albrecht.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he knows, he's
Yep.
familiar.
He gets a bit of the politics here, so yeah.
Mm.
So So he also knows the ship, which is
Also a plus.
A plus
helpful,
and
yeah.
a bit of a negative,
Could be a
depending
negative.
on how
yeah.
you look at it.
Morrison's a chill guy. You didn't ask him too many questions. But yeah, he seems chill. There are also other options for quartermaster. In fact, the next option for for character that you chose, for some reason you chose all the quartermaster choices. Honnold is also a
Did we?
quartermaster.
Yeah.
So if you want to say to him, we have one more we would like to look at, and then we can get back to you, that's fine. Or if you want to say that, I mean, if you're pulling the trigger on him now, that's fine too. Or if you're
We're gonna
axing him
wait.
now, you can axe him now as well.
I think it's safe to wait.
Okay. So if you ask him that, he would say, of course, not a problem. If you do not get back in contact with me before the dawn, I will assume that you've gone a different route.
Thank you.
Out of character. So if you want to avoid the tense situation of not hiring me, I will understand.
Yeah, we'll ghost you.
It's okay to ghost him. He just said it is okay. All right. The last option that you posted on your thing is Honnold Sharp. She walks in and just very kind of quickly looks everyone over with a smile on her face, and then kind of sits. The smile kind of fades away as she sits, and she looks Orlandis directly in the eyes. Orlandis, correct?
Yes.
Honnold. So you probably have never ever gone out to sea as a captain of a ship. Is that accurate?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I figured that was the case based on what they were asking and requesting. You're just wanting to go to the ridges and then enter into Sorrowgate Kingdom.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not terribly interested in a short 6-day tour. It's not very exciting. Do you have any plans after that? If not, I mean, I can buy your ship and you can just, I'll transport you to where you need to go.
You would buy the ship?
Yeah, I could afford it, I think.
What the fuck?
Yeah, definitely not what we expected to hear, I think.
Definitely.
I like her.
She's got money.
Okay.
She got
Just-
balls for just asking straight up. Like, you know what, I'll take it.
So,
She's like, you suck at shipping? Give me your ship then.
I mean, out of character, this is a good out, but we would lose the ship and any further travel, right? Like, from the via seas?
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd lose the ship, so, you wouldn't have the ship anymore.
Yeah.
So that would be
She
true.
would take you there, and then then
Drop
just
you
like,
off, and then you're on
bye.
your own.
Hmm.
She goes, does cool ship shit.
I feel like this would take so much stress off of my body.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't
But
The
have
ship.
the ship.
Yeah, we would lose the ship, yeah.
No
Hmm.
ship.
No shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, and once we're at the sea, what's stopping her from just throwing us overboard?
Right.
That's also
You
true.
right. You
It's also
right.
true.
You're not wrong.
So how do you guys feel about it? Do we keep the ship or let her buy it?
Out of
No,
character,
we want the ship.
we
We
need to
want
have
the
a
ship.
question out of character. And she's definitely pointing it to you, and I want to make sure that we're having it. Okay.
Mhm.
If you keep the ship, obviously travel 2 weeks and then drop onto land for a second to, catch up with family is not the grand adventure that I'm sure most of you folks are kind of looking at. And I
Yeah.
know that most of our eggs, so to speak, most of our knives, our plot points, are kind of focused in the town we're leaving. So we need to think about why just leaving that behind and going on to do other things would be something worth the party doing. Now we know that Ravik has some contracts.
Hmm.
Most of the ones that were in the town are already dealt with The only one that's not is the Denisotvan General.
Mm-hmm.
So
There was one mother one too that like disappeared.
yeah, he's not there. And again,
Yeah.
seeking out rumors regarding him will be a separate subject matter. Because keep in mind, this is a big map, but it's not going to be super fast traveled. We're gonna. I mean, I'll move us back to the map here, like, just so we understand it. Like, if you want to go north towards Parnak, first, well before that shit happens, you have to go from here. Okay, let me see if this ruler thing works. Yep. Okay, so from here to there, through the strait. If you're keeping close to Ordris, that's fine, and then kind of making your way out into the bay, and then out. Like you're leaving, like you're going,
Yeah.
300.
right?
I mean, yes, there is still a bunch of shit that we could do
Here,
here.
but at the same time, there's also like a bunch of shit you can do on the way. The question is what do you want to do? Like, if you're going to use the boat, what would you best use it for? Vravik could use it to go to a town, find a bounty, and then use it to get to the bounty quickly. That is a very easy means of doing something. Astrogoth, I presume, would also have like a similar mentality of go to a town for knowledge or go to a town for like clout and utilize it for that purpose.
Right.
Cassia
Okay.
doesn't know where she's going, but the thing that she has in her mind is something that's not here. There's no knowledge base for that here. So trying to figure out where that would be is probably something you folks want to analyze. And then
Mm-hmm.
Lose, you need to find another way of kind of like, well, no, you don't really have that connection's already been handled. The tree has been resparked, but
Yeah.
I guess the main thing is connecting to the Feywild in a way that would allow you to at least get in contact with your sister, because again, her, like what happened to her is an unknown.
Pyria or
Pyro,
the...
right? Or Pyria, yeah, and then
Is that
your other
is that
sister as well.
college?
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
'cause they're
college
together
near
now.
No. So let's go back to the world map. So in the world in ENA, there is only one location where there is actually an elvish city that's not in the Feywild. Okay, an elvish settlement that exists, and that town is or that city rather is Talania, and that's on the map. Do you see it?
Should
a
yes.
lot of- yeah.
They're right here. I see. Damn, that's far.
So we'd
Okay.
have to like...
That's about
No.
4,000 miles. You'd literally have to run the gamut of the coast, and probably
True
the
that.
best place to get to it would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh yeah, we can't do that.
I
I mean, we could do that. but it
Mizu,
would
if
take
you
forever.
think you can do so by going through Sayryujin, like lands and fiefs. In all seriousness, though, probably not likely, because Vravik would know this, and Astrogoth from traveling would know this. Sairyu has a couple of port towns that are open for trade and are connected. Mizu is not one of them. It's mostly their capital and 2 points along the coast at the edge of the Shattered Coast, and I forget what the name of the town here is, but there's one there. And then Zinye is their capital.
So we'd basically have to go up to Liberis and then back down.
Brayport would probably be your best access point in all seriousness.
Where's
Yeah.
Brave? Oh, Brave.
It's right there,
I see.
Liberis. Damn, that's far as fuck. Hmm.
Yes. But the other thing that you know, and then this is focusing on Orlandis, if the question that your last interviewee asked isn't the way you answered it, like your answer is, yes, I want to fuck with the Denisotbans, the way you would want to do that would be piracy, because a lot of their shit is handled at sea. They currently control the Southern Bay. Moving us
Piracy.
back into Jernaris, like this whole section, south of Ordris, kind of in this area that I'm showing
Right.
them on screen in Twitch.
Oh, hold
But
on, wait.
also, I'll just snap you to it here with the
Oh, okay.
arrow.
Oh, okay.
This area here, this whole sea, if you will, is controlled by the Denisovans. Because
Okay.
all of Ulamon is controlled by the Denisovans, as we saw in a Tuesday game not that long ago.
Yeah.
If you wanted to fuck with the Denisovans, piracy could do that. Like, privateering could do that.
Hmm.
Would
Hmm.
be fun.
Could be fun.
But yeah, if it's lore that you seek, this is not the place where it would be. You would want to travel north and try and get to Penford. Penford would be the best place to start your search for what the fuck is this going on with Castia. Astrogoth could probably make good of any town that you stop in or any city or port, just by their charismatic nature. But at the same time, I think there are some kind of things that Astrogoth wants to get on with that he can share with you or not. And then Bravik can bounty hunt from pretty much any place that will have bounty boards. That's not going to be an issue.
Cares not.
Lose would like to get a connection with the Feywild. That's probably best in Penford, to be completely honest. And then Orlandis, again, it's really up to you, like, mentally. Like, of course, you want to get back to your family, granted, but that's, like, short term.
Gotcha.
We can bot
Gotcha.
that out in a session, I think, probably. No,
Yeah.
once you get in range of it, we could bot that out in a session.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably not going to be much conversation there with your family. You didn't have a wife. Or
Mama,
Ominous.
what has Uncle done? Oh, he killed someone. Oh, okay. Goodbye.
He
That's
deserves it then.
That was the conversation.
This could
Was
have
it?
been solved in a
Yeah.
letter.
This could have been an email.
This
We
could've been
came. Yeah,
ascending.
exactly.
This could have been ascending.
Well, shit. Okay. This changes the story a little. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Or does it?
I don't know, man.
It's up to you, the leader.
Obviously, like, in my brain for the memes, I want you on a boat.
Yes.
Because it's funnier to me.
I also want to be on a boat.
And
I
it's
also want to be a pirate bounty.
So we can be
100%.
pirates. We can just go
Pirates.
on a pleasure cruise, or we can fucking be
Those are-
nerds and go to Penford.
Those are all not mutually exclusive. Like, you
We
can
can
That
be
is-
do all
pirates
those-
and go up the coast at the same time.
You do all those. At the
That
same
is
time.
true. So what if we decide to hire pirates, and then we just fucking fuck everything up along the way, right?
Mhm.
And then we decide, you know what? Maybe it is time to go after we spend, because everyone wants a year-long contract.
Alternatively, you could go to Penford first, and then make your way south.
Mm.
Where's Penford?
Penford is the northeasternmost big city.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and mark it on the map here. Hold on.
Oh, it's on this map. Okay, so that works. That's close by. Northeastern.
There you go.
There it is. Okay, I see it. All right.
The background's
Alright.
blue now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does that.
So we would go to Penford, right?
It's
That-
like the ocean.
Yeah. So what it does is it's generic setting. It'll apply the dominant color of a map, and it determines the dominant color based on what you're looking at. And when I say what you're looking at, I mean what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
I can go in manually and change it to just solid black.
I mean, it's fine.
How do y'all feel like? Do you feel like you would like to go directly to Penford, get some lore, and then come back down and fuck up the Denisovans?
Knowledge is not always a bad thing.
Knowledge is
True.
power.
Knowledge is power.
Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Hey.
The other half is extreme violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah, that's
true.
why we would do that after.
Yeah.
Also, since Penford is kind of a metropolitan kind of like city, it's a bit more cosmopolitan than Cardend. It
Mhm.
could be the case that you learn a bit more about the movements of the Denisotvans in the southern bay there, and actually get some assistance in your privateering processes, like in
Okay.
the form of supplies and payment for your crew. But again,
Could
that,
we hire pirates though?
I mean, if you
Also,
hire
it would be
pirates,
privateering instead of pirating,
correct?
Privateering.
You're
Gotcha.
which
doing
is
it
different.
for good. However, the Denisotvans will refer to you as pirates.
That's fine.
Yeah.
They're the Marines.
The privateer slash
No.
pirate mentality is very similar to it's a
The
dichotomy
Marines?
that
Yeah.
No.
they're not
No.
the
They're
Marines.
That would
exactly
be
like the Marines.
Penford.
Yeah,
No.
Penford
I-
has the coastal guard.
I
The
believe
feel like-
Denisotvans are more like Teach and his crew.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Okay,
believe the
can see that.
technical term is property reallocation.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Both
Sure.
pirates and privateers do it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we could do that. I guess.
Welcome to the second
my-
half of my TED talk. I'm passing it off to Tom. We've
My
gone from
question
sexual
is-
field reproduction to asset redistribution.
We
Go
didn't
ahead.
get a lot of people signing up for both.
No,
That's true.
no, yeah, weird. It's like two totally separate subject matters.
My question is, if we get
What's that?
like, do we take privateers as well as goody two shoes on our ship, or do we?
Privateers are goody two shoes. They're just violent goody two shoes.
Okay.
Okay. Privateers are like the fuck.
They're
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 like
pirates that work
Whitebeard.
for a
They're
government.
pirates for nobles. Like, come on.
Yeah.
They're like the seven
Okay.
warlords.
Yeah.
The seven warlords.
Oh,
They're
okay.
working
Okay.
for the
I like
government.
that.
They're still pirates,
Right.
but
they're
they're
But
pirates,
working
they have
for
a
the
check.
government under
Property
official-
reallocation specialists.
Yeah. They have
Okay.
an official title, like Tom said.
And they get a government check.
So making
Yeah.
sure we have it. Votes for let's get on a boat and do boat cool shit. We've got Jonah.
I'm down.
We've got Elizabeth.
Boat.
I believe Foxen said,
Boat.
"Hell yeah, boat! Let's go boat." I see the
Yeah,
hand.
boat.
All right.
Boat.
Zach,
boat.
are you cool for the boat? Good times, fun boat times.
Yar.
Yeah.
Tom, that means you have no choice. So
You're muted, Tom. Muted.
Can't hear
When
you.
has Castia really ever had a choice?
When she killed the dragon.
Sorry,
She didn't have a
you
choice
aren't
for
old enough to
that.
have object permanency right now. So
Wait,
Close
does that
my
mean
eye.
up until
Where did
now, every
everybody
time I
go?
went around a corner, she thought I stopped existing?
yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, I just assume that vampires have the ability to fade in and out of existence. Is that not accurate?
I wouldn't know. I'm not a vampire.
What was it? Ethereal step.
Allegedly.
Mhm.
Allegedly.
So, great. So when she asks you if you want to just sell her the boat and she'll buy it for 20,000, you say no.
Yeah. No, we're gonna
Only
keep the boat.
20,000.
Okay, so then again, I need to know if it's going to be a bit more than just a simple romp over to Parnak for no real purpose and transporting nothing I understand of substance. What is your plan? Do you have like a long-term goal or no?
Well, now that you have asked me this question, I've had time to think about it in these few seconds that we have been speaking. It has come to my attention
I love it. Go
That-
with it. Run with it.
that maybe going or just going to Parnak would not be the best situation.
No, yeah, it sounds boring as hell to me, to be honest. Especially since Parnak's sea-worthy folks are usually not terribly fond of the kind of work I like getting up to.
What is it that you like to do?
Well, she smiles, leans in. I'm a pirate. Well, some people, maybe me, think that I am the granddaughter of the great Iron Ann Bonnie herself.
History?
If you have history trained, you know Iron Ann Bonnie is the most famous pirate in the world. Like,
Oh shit.
she is she's known as Iron Ann Bonnie, and Demon Hands. She's also known as Anne the Black, Anne the Burner, and also Anne the Wind Blessed. She is a pirate who is most famous for sailing through the sea of solid flame, and is said to have stolen a shard of the priest's tongue from that place. She's called
What? Maybe
Demon
cool.
Hands because she also is the owner, or was the owner, nobody knows if she's still alive or not, of a section of a very historic set known as the Demon Regalia, which is a suit of armor that's made up of different demons. She
Ooh.
cut off the hand of a Kenku duelist named Musei Kaze, who had the left hand, and she had the right hand. And when she cut the hand off, she obviously took it and put it on her own hand. So she had a very cool. Let me see if I have the Demon Court set here. So the hands that you would know, there is the Bevelith Grasp, which is the left hand, and the Vrock Claw, which is the right hand. The other parts of the set are less known.
Could we roll history to see if we know about it?
I would say history would be fun if you want to try and know the bits of the Demon Court
Okay.
set.
Are we eligible for skill tricks during this? Or no?
Oh, this is history knowledge. Yeah, if you have it, I'll just go ahead and, since it is kind of relevant. So there's, when I say there are different demons in each of the pieces, I mean to say there are different types of the. Oh God, why is?
Let me roll history, sorry.
Hold on. Well, you don't have to roll. It's fine. I'm just giving it to you. Oh my God, what are they called? Tonnery? Yeah, there are different tonnery kind of associated with the sets. It's not that there is a sentient demon in each. It's that the armor was crafted to basically be the essence of a type of demon. The crown or helmet is a Balor.
Ooh.
The
Okay.
shield is a Glabrezu.
Goddamn.
Breastplate is a Hezrao. The boots.
Not to get confused with Hezron.
Right. Now Feshni. And the
Okay.
last piece of the court set is a sword, which said Merilith Blade. Or the Merilith Blade.
Oh.
And so it is said that these items were crafted by Duran Balcard and wielded by him and his entourage in their efforts to slay a usurper god named Tok. An usurper god who is said to have attempted to take a high position over the winds of magic in the astral sea from a deity or power known as Lamak. And if you're not familiar with Tok from
Sounds
religion, he is a piece of shit and a loser.
Yeah, his holy symbol is a plain belt.
Yep.
Wait,
Plain.
really?
It is
Yep,
now.
just a common ass belt.
You know, to some people that's really scary.
He sure thought it was.
Yeah, he thought it would be scary to an accent. It was not.
Just gonna say, yeah, Bell could be pretty scary to some people. Daddy's coming.
Oh god.
Snap.
I guess we made it awkward.
Parent do that.
Oh.
No, my niece did that the other day. She was acting up. I got the bell. She fucking froze. I was like, oh, I didn't hit you with it.
No.
I just grabbed her like, what the hell is your daddy doing at home?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Is
Anywho.
it though?
To me, it's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I was beat as a kid, whatever.
I mean, same.
So,
We do not.
We do not
support,
condone.
condone violence towards children.
I will say too, also Jonah, due to Anne Bonny's kind of historical contact or connection with the Demon Court set, um, these relics are oftentimes desired by um, pirates and brigands. They think of them as very kind of powerful and important items. As you'll note that none of the items had like a display as to what they did. They are a part of a set, so we kind of discussed this a little bit in the beginning, like during the prelude. Set items are powerful items on their own, typically of kind of like a very rare to legendary status by themselves. But once you start collecting them and putting them on the same person, they start to power multiply, like sets from like Diablo or what have you, like video game shit.
Yeah,
Once
okay.
they start connecting, they start kind of becoming more powerful.
Okay. That's cool. Mm,
And so,
so you
it's really my intention to become as wealthy as I can, and also as renowned as I can, because I have a great tradition to follow. And I feel that's really important, you know?
okay. And how do you feel about the Dennis outfits?
The long arms from the west? I don't see them too much. They don't typically get out into the ocean too often. And I've been kind of stuck here in the coves for a while. You're lucky you caught me. I spend most of my time down the coast a bit, over at the what did I name? The One-Eyed Rock. But I suppose that I don't like them. I guess, but I guess I don't like most people. So quartermaster, huh? That's the only job you have open right now, or
We have all of the jobs.
lower
Basically.
jobs? I'm assuming you're not looking for a captain.
No.
That's too bad.
That is me.
No, well, that's fine, I guess. I guess quartermaster. You're not looking for a first mate either.
No, that is my friend over there. And I point out and say,
Navigator.
She kind of gives you like a look, like yeah, she kind of looks like a hard ass, anyways. Okay, that's fine.
Lose kind of smirks at that.
Well, I do 6-month stints. I think about 1,500 ought to do it for quartermaster positioning.
for 6 months.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Keep in mind, you had a guy just charge you 500 for 2 weeks, so
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
and then
So-
the other person.
Well, he said we get a
Yeah.
discount as
If it's more. if
Do
it's a
we
year.
do we necessarily need like more than one quartermaster?
You don't need more than one quartermaster. In fact, multiple quartermasters would be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too many cooks.
Yeah.
We need a
We didn't
navigator.
hire anyone, right?
Not
No.
yet.
Okay. Aside
Just
from
our lovely beholder.
Econo-
Yeah.
Ikathoth.
And he's the shipwright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you hired
yes.
him on the spot, but we already knew that 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks.
We need
ago.
a shipwright. We need a shipwright.
And he's cheap too.
Yeah.
So,
The
Hanel,
cheapest of
do
the boat
you
rides, yeah.
do you have a crew, or is it just you?
I have a couple people I could probably point you in the direction of. I got a pair of individuals who are really interested in getting into some work of a violenter sort.
Mhm.
Pretty, pretty good folk though, trustworthy. If you're paying them, they're not going to undercut you or try and take coin elsewhere.
And what if we were to, I guess, go towards more violent natured folks, and let's say they had loot, so to speak.
Yeah, so we'd work that out, before we get sailing. I know me as quartermaster, I like to be responsible for the divvying. Kind of a good, point of interest for a quartermaster. You own the ship, and that's fine. And obviously, there's going to be, due diligence kind of given towards the fact that you're paying for the repairs for the ship, you're paying for the food for the ship, you're paying for the staffing of the ship. And so, of course, your cut would be bigger as captain. But as quartermaster, I think it's mainly our job to make sure that you're being kept honest and not, trying to lord over individuals you think that you're over because you're paying them. Because that's true in a sense, and I guess that works more on land. But on the sea, my friend, it's sadly a bit more possible for us to just throw you off the ship than, otherwise. If that makes sense for you. I think he just got interjected in the real life.
That's fine. I'll fill in with mutiny, mutiny, mutiny.
My bad, you guys. I heard what you said though. Like if it comes to the point where I'm
Being unfair.
more lordly, yeah, I get overboard or thrown overboard. That's fine. That is an acceptable response. I do not feel like I am above anyone. I understand that with any type of travel, it comes with teamwork and alliances.
I appreciate that. That's definitely my life's motto, really. If I'm going to be at sea with you, and these folks here that you have situated around, I definitely will be very interested in getting to know you first things first. And after that, it would be very much in my interest to make sure we understand the cuts. Because ultimately, we're all here to make a bit of money. Sure, we're going to be very, very much in the, especially if you get into the kind of work that I'm interested in, we're going to be very interested in personal glory, standing out above the rest, making sure our names are being sung in the halls of the Coastal Guard or the Denisopvin's barracks or wherever.
Yeah, I know all about. Like, I killed a dragon, and our friend wrote a song.
I've also killed a dragon, she says.
I like her.
Have you ever killed one at height? Or did you kill one in their lair? Since you're a bit of a landlubber, I'm assuming it was in their lair.
It was in their lair, but there was a lot of water, so it was kind of like a boat.
Try and picture this. Dragon attack. Middle of the night. Bright red flames shooting out across your sails. Captain gets picked up by their claws and lifted up into the sky. You've got a moment to think. A moment to act. You can let that dragon go, or you can jump right onto its tail and crawl your way up to its neck and slit it. What would you do? Moonlight sky, hardly able to see.
I would kill it with the moonlight. That's what I did.
She kind of stops for a second, and then, she she looks over at Orlandis. Okay, so we have a speaker. She gestures towards Lose, a hard ass. She looks over at Ashergoth. I'm assuming a bard. Am I right?
Yes.
Perfect. A storyteller, a singer. That's important. And I don't mean to be stereotypical, but I'm assuming you're a murderer, right? Okay. I have yet to meet a rat folk that wasn't.
Great. Next, you're gonna ask him if he wants cheese, right?
I would never.
He
Yeah.
also has never met a rat folk that
To
has
answer
not
your
wanted
question,
cheese.
yes, I would jump on the dragon's tail and slit his throat.
Well, then great. We're of a mind. And yes, the ship was in tatters afterwards, but after a late night dunk in the ocean that he wasn't really ready for, the captain was fine.
Well, that is good to hear, being the captain and all.
I wouldn't suggest wearing what you're wearing at sea, but If you feel comfortable doing so, you certainly can try it.
I have no other armor, so to speak.
I'm not
This is all
really
I've known.
much of a fan in wearing armor. It's a bit cumbersome.
I could see that.
She gets it.
I can agree with that.
Ravik and Leslie are both looking at Orlando's like,
Look at this canned nerd over here.
Tin Man.
So, I assume you have other people that you're interested in hiring for the position for quartermaster. I am very much interested in that position. I would very much like it. There are other positions I could probably fill, but you'd be wasting my prowess, and I would make you aware that you're wasting my prowess if your quartermaster slipped up and I was a part of your crew. So, to save you the trouble of having your other quartermaster belittled and shown to be a farce, I would suggest just hiring me and ignoring the others.
Could we talk to your crew before we make that decision?
Well, like I said, I don't have much of a crew, but I have some
Well-
folks that I know are interested in getting out to sea. I have one specifically who's very much interested in getting back to Parnak, but he might be willing to take you up on other opportunities. I know he's not a fan of the Denisothans.
That is good.
I believe his entire hometown was raised by them in the conflict in the south.
I see.
He's a bit older, but he's a good guy.
Did he say what now?
I forget the name of it. Gate something. Something Gate. She asks you for parchment, and she pulls out a piece of charcoal, and she starts writing a couple names down. The names that she puts to paper are... Hold on.
Mikhail.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I've never heard of
I've never
that guy
even heard
before.
of that guy before.
Who would have a name like that?
It's basically everybody in that last block.
Oh, it's everyone in the last block? Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, yeah.
gives you the name for someone you've already met with and told
That was like the one.
Miyavar.
I would change her mind.
Yeah. So she says basically E1 through 9.
Okay. And they're mostly like her, right? Privateers?
They're gonna be people that if you had gone finding people, you would have found them at the One-Eyed Rock. Yeah.
Okay. Could you send this one back in, please? Miyavar.
Oh, well, I can, but I just want to.
Well, later. I wish
Sure.
to talk to the ones.
You're asking
You
favors of me
specifically.
as if I'm your employee, though. I just want to make sure we're
Mhm.
sealing the deal.
I think your
If you wanna-
services.
If you want to pause and talk to the people out of character,
Yeah. True.
or say, give me just a moment, and then you and everybody kind of hustle over to a different table while she's
Yeah.
sitting there with her arms crossed, looking at you and probably listening in. You can certainly do that.
Just give us a moment. I do believe your services.
Sure, Parnak is
Oh,
usually more
shine.
democratic. I get it, and I appreciate it.
Everyone to the table, to the booth. All right, y'all. How do we feel about Miss Pirate Queen?
I mean,
She
she
seems
killed a
cocky.
dragon.
Dragon. Do we feel like she would be a good fit? She is expensive, but I believe with her knowledge and her feats, that she would be helpful.
She seems cocky.
True.
I mean, she did kill a dragon.
That is also true.
What more do you need to know?
I mean, at least she says she has.
She has. Says she has.
Are you saying you don't believe somebody when they say they killed a dragon?
I don't know. She's saying that she's.
Dragon type is
related to
common
it.
as you think.
I'm gonna fucking die.
I mean, there is also her relation with Andy Black.
Hey, we don't even know if she's
Whether or
actually
not-
related to her.
Yes, whether or not that is true, but the only way we can really
And-
tell is by seeing them, no?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I have great grandkids who are shit at sword fighting. And just because I'm good at sword fighting does not mean that they're good at sword fighting. So why is she the best?
What is your definition of shit, though?
That sounds like a training problem.
She's sitting like right behind us, right?
Holy shit.
Haneld is sitting right behind us, right?
She's sitting back where you left her, yeah.
Yeah.
Haneld, how good are you with the sword?
It
I
doesn't
don't-
matter how much.
I don't use swords.
What do you use?
The second you say that, and as you're blinking during that sentence, everybody sees a bright silver line just appear through the air, and a dagger slams into the wall behind Orlandis, like just behind him. Knives.
Mm.
I don't get a chance to intercept it.
He
Come
turns
on.
around.
No, again. If you don't have deflect arrows, yeah, you're not catching that. It was too fast. She
Yeah.
just.
Yeah.
And for
He
you,
just does.
Vravik, actually, you kind of go, okay, wait a second. Because you pause for a second and you realize the technique that was utilized there was definitely like Kengo maneuver. That was not like a regular just throw a
Shit.
knife situation. That was like pretty
Uh-oh.
clearly like high level shit. And when I say high level, I don't mean in D&D. I mean like in like the Kengo or like Assassin's
Like in
Creed.
lore
Yeah.
aspect. We get it. We get it.
Just making
So
sure
like
terminology's
she's not necessarily bullshitting everything. but-
right. For you, Lose, like it would be similar to in dueling parlance. You're familiar with Iajutsu, which is a technique utilized by samurai in Seiryu.
The
Quick draw blade.
Like
Alright, so Vrag's gonna lean in. I like her. She's good.
Immediately after the dagger, just like boy, and then she's really great. Everybody just starts whispering, yeah, let's hire her.
So, how do you feel about that?
I mean, she's at least good with daggers.
I think she would be a good fit for what we are planning to do with the Denisatfins.
Well, if she ends up lying to us, I believe it goes two ways. We can throw her over the boat,
Yes, that is a possibility.
or
And
just
yourself?
drop her off at a dock.
Your salary's the same.
It is true.
And she doesn't want a full year,
Just the 6 months,
at least.
at the very least.
I think she has the confidence to trick anyone who doesn't believe her. So sometimes that can be useful to have.
So, do we feel good about having her? And her friends?
Well, I don't know about her friends, but obviously.
Well, we will talk to
She
them
killed the
first.
dragon.
Did you see the knife? She's gonna be great at guarding the loot.
As long as she doesn't steal it.
Hopefully not.
She did say she wanted riches.
That is true.
She's a pirate.
She's a pirate.
But I believe if we sate her need for riches, as long as it is not our own, such as the Denisatfins, they may have riches.
We can steal her own boat.
I think that this would be a good fit.
Start our own fleet.
So he taps the desk. Let us talk to her and her companions.
So, if you get back to her, just to kind of simplify the process, she'll ask you if you have a boat right. You'll say you have a boat right. She'll tell you that the boat right that she kind of has been leaning towards is Alan Shipshape, who's kind of associated with the Boats Rights Hall, but it's not really, as we kind of discussed before. He's a bit of a drinker, which is why he
Mm.
stays at the One-Eyed Rock, because they steal the mead. They just drink that shit.
Tired.
All
We need
right.
two
Look at
votes.
that, 2.
The whole,
One's got to be
whole
on,
crew.
on duty at all times, so 2.
And she would say, if you want to interview them, we'll go ahead and move to the Rock
Oh, yeah.
instead. We'll
Let's do that.
later this afternoon, evening time. When we go that way, let's see if I did my preppy preps.
We were also supposed to, or Orlandus was supposed to speak to the mage, not the mage guild, the Magier guild or whatever. Not the Magier.
magistrate.
Magistrate.
And
Yes.
basically, what the magistrate will basically get on with is saying that around these parts, there is a lot of pirate activity, and they do want to deal with that. But the main problem that they have is that there is slowly becoming a situation where a lot of the piracy that's being dealt in this region is coming up from the Strait of Ordris, which is to the north. That kind of, or kind of like west or east north. You see the bridge and the island in the middle there.
Mhm.
This area is called the Strait of Ordris. This section. Let me see the pings. Let's do it. Bam, like there. And oh, I'm gonna try a new feature. Hold on. So this is cool. So then, oh nope.
Ooh.
Let's go with this. So like this area here
Oh.
is the Strait
Oh.
of. Is that showing up on yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cone.
Yeah.
Hi, Kitty.
Do it again.
You got cat.
Hero. Cat butt. Soupy
Look at how mad he
baby.
is about that.
He is so
Oh my God.
angry.
Don't do it. I do not want this. I would like to lay on the keyboard, please. Yes. But yeah, they've got new. If you go to the measuring tape, you can change it to cone, line, square, circle.
Square circle.
Very cool stuff.
Is that with the new update or whatever?
Yep, newest update. It's
Okay.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Roll
fine.
20 starting to shape it up. We're starting to see a bit more programmy cool stuff. I think one of the things that's on the docket for them is more layering options for GMs, which is going to be great for me because mids fight, like I can kind of have one map open with multi-tier, so that's a dream.
Oh, yeah.
They're expanding.
Yeah, and we love that. We love that for them. I've been with them since 2012, 2013, whenever they kind of got up and running there,
Yeah.
or shortly thereafter. And, they've been
Well,
good.
they've got a lot of competition now. So
Yeah,
they
they
kind of
need to
gotta
shape it up
keep
for
up.
sure. Because there's like Foundry, there's
a lot of people are
Mm,
talking about
mm.
alchemy.
yeah, Alchemy is
The
Specu,
Specu
yeah.
one.
And then there's well, there's always been, but it's becoming more accessible now. Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah.
Their problem before was this, but everything's starting to go on sale for it, from what I see online.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, back to the point. I will mark what the magistrate notates. There is a group that are banding behind an individual who calls himself the Pirate Lord.
Ooh.
And according to reports, the Pirate Lord has a massive barge, which, again, I'm just putting idly kind of in the strait. That's not exactly where it's located, but the Pirate Lord's lair is a massive, like, conglomeration of ships that just moves about. It's said to be able to create, quote unquote, create ships from its frame that are basically then used to chase down other ships. It was last seen north of there, kind of across, or in the strait south of Swordbreak. And it's been kind of notated as being in the strait at this point. Causing a lot of issues for like their specific trade in the Cove, because they can't go south for trade anymore due to the Denisovans and their blockades. But north trade routes have not been blocked, but now are being pirate lorded over.
Well, could the two be linked in some way?
Doubtful. It's probably opportunistic from the pirate lord, who's basically just selling everyone on blocking trade for southern Ordris, and also the remains of Anundia that are no longer under Denisov.
Right.
Okay.
But that's what the Magier is basically asking. They are putting out contracts for the Pirate Lord, and basically offering pretty solid bounties on them. The Pirate Lord himself has a 20,000 gold piece bounty on his head, which is again massive.
Yeah.
And specifically, the bounty requirement for his head is also the sinking of the barge.
We could do that.
If just his head and not the barge is confirmed scuttled or sunk, it's 5,000 rupees.
No, we need that 20k.
That's a lot of cheddar, yeah, for sure. And again, there's obviously smaller contracts which probably won't come up. It'll be more of a situation where when you see a guy, Vravik, you'll have, if you're going to the magistrate with Orlandis in this instance, as you're moving from there to the One-Eyed Rock, you're basically collecting a ledger which will have all of the bounties, and when someone shows up, I'll just say, and this is this guy, and he has this many this many gold piece bounty on his head. And
Oh no, you could say Barry.
I will not say it. But yeah, there will be no millions. And if there is,
No.
don't fuck with that.
No
guy.
double
What is-
billion?
What
$1
is his
million dollar-
crew?
We'll
What
give
is
him
his
our
crew
whole
called?
country's fucking GDP. Just kill his fucking Ansel.
What is his crew called?
The Pirate Lord?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. They don't really have many survivors.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
They just know his name, or know what he calls himself, because he's posting up signs in different places saying, join the Pirate Lord. And
Oh, that's whack.
secret meeting, pirate, like Argot kind of shit that's on the documents.
No crew though. Okay. No crew.
Yeah,
though.
it's the Straw Hats. He calls himself the Straw Hats. And he's Luffy D. Monkey. Luffy D. Baboon.
Okay.
Luffy T. Monkey. Avoid copyright infringement. He's a.
All right.
Monkey T baboon.
So
Yeah.
we get all these bounties, and then we go back or down to the tavern.
The One-Eyed Rock. So when you get there, I'm going to
One-Eyed
change
Rock.
the music a bit because this is a bit somber. Let's do. I think this
What
one's
a
good.
pirate theme on.
I definitely thought I had something, but I didn't label it well because that's usually the bane of my life. Oh, is it this one? Yeah, that seems like it was.
Okay.
Okay, so when you arrive, I'm going to pull us to the map. I don't know if my boundaries work here, so this might be super revealing, but we'll see. Yep, super revealing. Let's fix it
Yeah.
ASAP.
Look at all that map.
Wow.
Bam.
It's gone.
Take it all in.
Map is gone.
Rip.
Dark.
So, when you come to this place, they take you to it on kind of a high road that maneuvers along the coast, but through a bit of kind of jungly area, right? And when you get there, the very first thing that you see is it appears to be an old fortification, like a coastal kind of sea watch position. That looks like it was built into rocky kind of outcropping with its own kind of series of coves kind of therein. There are no larger ships out and about, but there is a port. For what you can see, no like massive crafts. It does look like the ports would be capable of holding a larger craft, it's just that there are none that are present. And when you come around to the front door is at that high elevation, so you're kind of entering the position from like a jungle side, and you can see that the fortification has kind of a descent down to a lower ground, closer to the beach. When you enter into the space, it's very homey. It's just very kind of simple. You're entering on the second floor, as I said, and you can see that there are some people down and about. It looks like the first thing that you notice is that the bar itself is made out of kind of driftwood, but it looks like it's been shaped. It didn't look like there was much work done to it. It kind of already came in a close enough shape, but it looks like it's shaped in the head of a bird, a massive kind of beaked bird. There are a couple of surly looking folks in the space, and we'll obviously have some discussion with them momentarily. Before you get there, kind of along the way, I did want to double check and make sure. Is Alan Shipshape someone that you want to talk to at all? Or since you already have Ikantheth, you just kind of want to hold on to that boat's right and maintain that as your go-to guy for ship craftsmanship?
Are we keeping Ikentoth, or are we going with Alan, you guys?
The fuck type of question is that, Jonah?
Okay, Ikentoth it is.
Ikantheth it is.
We're keeping Ikentoth.
All right, that makes sense. Okay. So you would descend down. Actually, you'd probably take a position up on the second floor. It's kind of easier this way. And I will pull your tokens down onto the map just so we have kind of localization. Where the hell are your characters? Oh, right, these folders are not supposed to be open. That's why. Okay.
Can't see shit!
You will hear in a moment.
Okay.
The walls on the top are not fixed, so that's fine. I'm okay with that. And it keeps dropping them into... That's funny. Okay. So there's an available table kind of at the balcony here, and this will probably be where you do interviews and the like. That being said, moving to the next person you want to grab. So kind of working as a team here. She will state that she is not saying that any of these people have to be a part of your crew. Nor does she say she's vouching for them. They are simply people she knows who will A, be totally okay with piracy, and B, are looking to get on with some piracy. Be
I
it,
still can't see the map.
but why though?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can
It's
see
dark.
just fine.
I don't see anything either. I just see black darkness.
Oro,
Oh wait, no,
is it-
I do see it. No, never mind.
How about you,
I
John?
can't see still.
Scroll up.
Yeah, no, I can't. There's nothing.
Okay.
It's complete
You zoom all
darkness.
the way out.
Let me check. Yeah, no. Still darkness.
Is it because you don't have dark vision?
Probably.
No.
I don't know if it's actually on. I just know that that's been an issue before. Oh! Tom also has the issue.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
okay,
these are the people who
sure.
should not have it.
This is
Okay,
what
let
I
me see.
Is it shit?
Okay, I think I figured it out.
Darkness.
Oh, no.
There we go. Now I see it.
Okay,
See
so
it.
again, you would be familiar with the upstairs area, and like I said, you came in from the upstairs, so you probably saw the massive nest outside, and you kind of came up through this road, and when you entered it, you kind of, yeah, came in through the outside.
Okay.
So, through a secret entrance.
Secret.
Yeah, around near the nest. But therein, we have, starting on the east side, we're going to go from left through, just skipping Alan because we already got it. Red Agnes is the top left gentleman, the tiefling. I'll go ahead and
Okay.
post him there. That's an option.
Red Angus.
Agnes, yeah.
Agnes. Alright.
Daphne Elrond is the elf.
Okay.
Then you got the metal arm man whose name is right at the tip of my tongue.
That one guy.
Guy with arms. Guy with metal arms.
Yeah,
Arm man.
arm dude.
Is known as metal arms. And
Illumin arms.
Illuminarms. Illuminarmsy. I'll leave. It's fine. You guys stay. Keep enjoying D&D.
Low res.
You do not...
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lol wrath. LOL.
Alright.
LOL laugh.
Yeah. It's actually Eolrath. Sorry.
Oh, it's an
remember now.
I.
Yeah, it is
It's,
Eolrath.
Not anymore.
Low res.
He's obviously forgettable. We already talked to...
He doesn't have good abs.
yeah, his abs are not perfect.
Is he also known as the winter combatant?
He has 2 metal arms, not 1 metal arm. Come on. Keep up.
He's obviously summer.
And you'll very quickly
Oh, yeah,
realize
that's
they're
right.
not
Summer
replacement.
word.
They're not replacement
not
arms. They
right.
are very much just sleeves.
Gotcha.
Oh, he's not.
So you're saying he's a fucking poser?
100%.
We met that lady.
We met the lady.
I was not interested.
Mikhail Vine, who we mentioned, and she's kind of mentioned also. Then we have Paulton, empty bottle, in the bottom left corner. And then we have Reality, who is the tiefling in the middle there. And last but not least, Valen Eward. And the name Eward is something that you kind of not really caught onto in game, but it's something that has been mentioned in the background at least. I think if anybody who's been in the town for as long as you have, half a day or so, almost a day, you would have caught on. Apparently the nobles, one of the noble houses in the town is House Eward. So this
Oh, neat.
individual being in this not reputable place is obviously a bit confusing. But again, you can start with any one of those ones that you want to start with, and we'll post them up as we do. Is there a preference as to who you folks want to start with?
We'll go with E9. Fuck it. Let's start with the noble.
All right, so Valen steps to you after being requested to talk with you by your quartermaster. And,
True.
excuse me. She would say, "This is Valen. He's just trying to get out of the city, and he's pretty good with his sword." He kind of sets it down on the table, sits quietly across from you, crosses his fingers, kind of looking at you, Orlandis. A couple things you notice about him: he's probably like 18, 19, very young. Definitely has a look of a Parnan stylized noble, but you can also see that he's not a Parnan. He's very much has kind of features in line with being Jernarin, at least specially. I don't mean attire-wise. Attire-wise, he's dressed very Parnan.
Okay.
His sword is not Parnan. It is not elvish. It is not of any kind of... It is literally just a big-ass metal cleaver. It looks like a machete, right?
We like that.
And he kind of sets that out on the table, sits across, crosses his fingers, kind of looking at you, and he says, "So, you're looking for pirates. You're looking for... what are you getting up to?"
Well, we want to do many things, but one of the first things we wish to do is go to Penford, and that is right through what is recently told to us as the Pirate Lord's domain.
Honild will say, "You've been to Penford, haven't you, Valen?" He kind of looks at her and kind of looks back at Orlandis. "The Pirate Lord? Yeah, we've heard some rumors." Looks back at Honild, and she kind of looks at him kind of a shut the fuck up kind of look. And he will say, "Yeah, I'd be interested." And then you're planning on heading back into the bay area, or are we?
Yes, we are to come back southward to deal with Dennis Athens.
Great, that sounds wonderful. From what I understand, a lot of their ships have quite a bit of loot that's been stolen from my family. So I would be very interested in engaging in that kind of practice. I don't seek a contract. I don't seek any stipulations on pay. If Hanil's your quartermaster, I know I'll be getting what I need, as I've had many a conversation with her regarding her ideas on metrics. I am more than happy to serve.
I like your forwardness.
Well,
Um,
I like the opportunity.
you have no. I'm assuming you have no qualms with ending Dennis Athens.
No, not at all. In fact, I'd relish it.
I like you.
I like you. I also like drinking, so that'll also be something I'm very interested in.
That is
You
easy.
haven't been in the town long, right?
No.
Snaps his fingers. Hey, Bethany. Gestures. A woman in kind of a very low-cut shirt, kind of just very attractive.
Voluptuous?
A very attractive-looking woman with kind of very little clothing on. I don't mean like in a very tacky way, just a very alluring kind of way. Walks over
Okay.
and she says, "What is it? Can you go ahead and bring over 3 bottles of the special?" And she says, "Of course." And she heads downstairs. So you haven't had a chance to taste any of the meat, I presume.
No,
I've been looking around for it.
We've got to come into the table now.
Perfect.
Your name, milady?
Oh, me, Lose.
And he kind of reaches his hand out, like kind of offering to. Well, as you take his
Yeah.
hand and go for a
Yeah.
shake, he kind of turns it
Yeah.
and kind of reaches down like he's going to kiss your hand. Your response?
She lets him.
Okay.
I'm sure she's had it done before.
Yeah, he you can just tell by the way his hand is shaking as he's holding yours, and just like the look on his face and like the sheer amount of sweat that's kind of beading on his head. Like he is trying to be cooler than he is, and he's genuinely.
He's
probably,
just a baby.
there's probably a rush in his entire body as he's like,
Yeah.
this is going really well. I got the wine, and they think I'm really cool, and this is happening.
Can Vravik chime in real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're trying too hard, lad.
He goes, I'm not trying at all. But everybody can tell, like, he just, like, is kind of looking at the assassin a little bit more kind of steely at this point. Bethany comes back with the honey mead or obviously honey mead, the mead, and sets it all out, cups and everything. And Valen says, "When are we planning on leaving?"
As soon as I can get the crew.
Okay, well then, I'm assuming that will be within the 6th day. I'll be within earshot. If you can't find me here, my house is on the north side of town.
Okay.
All right.
Does he stay on the table or does he walk away?
He'll stay near the table, but since you're kind of going to be moving people to that one seat, keep in
Yeah.
mind you still have a 5-man or 5-person like entourage that you're kind of, and then also the 3 attendants. Like you're not a small table.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're paying gratuity. It's forced. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You got 8 people. Who do you want next?
Who was the package deal? Was
Oh.
it in Group E?
It was not. It actually wasn't. It was shown on a split. So this is a very interesting one when it comes to where they come from. So you'll see that A2 and
H2.
B7.
Mm.
To B7.
And if those are the next two you want to go for, we can go ahead and throw them out.
First, I want to talk to everyone from E group.
Got it, got it. What do you want next?
Yeah, before we do that, we'll go with the shit. The next one over, E8, I guess.
E8, you said?
Reality.
Yeah.
Reality.
Yeah, reality.
So, just real quick.
Her name is Reality.
Just real quick on
Yes.
naming conventions for tieflings. Tieflings who don't have surnames, tieflings who kind of are born and then are effectively scorned by their family because they're born as plain touched. They don't take a last name, and they typically aren't given a first name, so they come up with their own as they develop it. As they
Fucking
develop
dope.
themselves. So that's what she's
So
named
she
herself.
came up with her own reality.
She came up with her own reality.
Like it.
tis-
Sorry, no.
It's okay.
Metal.
No, it's fine. She steps over and sits. She has a violin on her back. She has a very, very ornate looking sword at her belt, which Elizabeth and Astrogoth, go ahead and make a history check, please.
Uh-oh. Magic.
Hold on. I can do this.
Magic.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oops.
12 and 9.
Yeah.
It's like right on the
It's a
tip of your
sword.
brain. You understand that the sword is either a replica or is a very important sword that you've seen or heard tales about. Like you've seen this in books. Like you've seen this sword somewhere. But again, you just can't really place right now what it is. She sits across, just very casually. Her dress kind of poofs up a bit when she does. She kind of pushes it down. Looking at Orlando, she says, "So, you are interested in piracy?
Yes.
Great. I love piracy. I have a lot of great stories about some piracy I've committed to and done.
Okay. How do you feel about the Dennis entrance?
The who?
The individuals that
The long arms.
yes.
I'm sorry, I'm not really familiar with them. I've only been in the region for a couple of 6 days. Not very long.
I see.
I'm actually from I'm actually from Old Heisrick. South of here.
Okay.
Never been.
It's a pretty big city. A lot of towers. A lot of really interesting things in the towers. And so many books and things with stories. But the thing about books, I feel, is like you've written down this great story, you know? And then you committed it to history, to memory. And maybe one day somebody reads it, sure, but I feel like if a story gets that old and boring, it's locked away in a book, it's just not really worth telling, you know? I feel like the real stories are the ones we tell amongst each other, amongst friends. And what good is a sword or a book or anything really locked up in a tower or some library or something stupid? She starts kind of idly playing with her fingernails.
So it's safe to say this person is a klepto.
Maybe.
All right, cool.
Check your wallet. Little
Great.
pad.
Everybody has no magic items.
Yeah. Thanks.
What the fuck?
Oh. We're gonna keep a tight hold on that coin
That's for my
first.
dad.
And so yeah, piracy is fun. I just feel like a lot of people who travel with things just don't really. They just take them for granted, you know. And for me, that's. I don't know. It just feels wrong.
Well, I can
I see.
assure you that our captain does not take a spear for granted because he's lost so many of them.
You're using them.
Yeah,
That's
he's
great.
using them a lot.
Yeah, of course. If you use something, it's going to break and outlive its usefulness. The same is true of a lot of things in this world. Boats. Boats fall apart all the time.
No, we hired a shipwright. He'll make sure the boat's a boat.
Yeah, or, if it burns, that's also a reason a boat could be
Oh, I
problematic.
see.
I just...
Isn't there a lot of water?
Red flag.
Major.
It can
flag.
help, but did you know that if something burns hot enough, it can actually sit on the surface of the water and burn for days?
Oh, tell me more.
Yeah, fortunately, I have no problems with fire, really. Sometimes I mean, if I feel like I'm being pressured, I kind of just feel like, get away from me. And as she says that, her hair kind of like sparks up a little bit with like traces of red fire, kind of dancing through her pink
That's
hair.
like when that tree guy tried to.
Yeah, and I feel like if you know what I'm saying, she gestures to Castia, not really sure how to finish her sentence.
Yeah, there was this. We went to the Feywild, and there was. I get it.
Oh, I've been too. That's interesting. What did you think of it?
There were a lot of people that were really mean.
Oh, I know, elves. And she kind of looks over at Lose like for a second, and then kind of they can be nice. And then smiles at Lose with this just kind of sheepish, like you already know
wasn't-
she was gonna say some shit about elves.
It
Yeah.
wasn't actually the elves so much. It was there was this guy who lived in a tree, and he.
Oh, guys can also be real assholes too.
He tried to send me off to get killed, I think.
Especially older guys. And she kind of looks at Orlandis. Not you or anything. You seem nice. But a lot of the folks in Old Heistrick, they're just very entitled to people's time. See, well, another thing I hate, more so than, books with really interesting stories that have just been locked away. But also, people who think that their stories are really interesting and worth telling, and who don't really read the room to understand that they're not, and maybe they should just shut up.
Yeah, those people are the worst.
Agreed. So, yeah, I suppose I just need a living wage, plus maybe a little bit extra, and if we are getting up to some piracy, then obviously I would require my own percentage cut from the spoils, if you will. And I'm really interested in going to Penford. Is that on the docket?
Actually, yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Great. I will say that if my plans don't go over well, I might not be able to leave Penford. But if I do get to leave Penford, I would be so happy to be on your ship and ready to go as soon as possible.
If you don't mind my asking, what do you plan on doing in Penford?
Oh, it's just another dusty city in all of Jernaris. They really just like imprisoning.
Books.
Not so much in this instance.
Oh.
She kind of taps the hilt of the sword that's still at her belt as she's sitting there. The green gem kind of like just twinkles in the light a bit, and she says, "Something a little bit more substantial, really. But yeah, as long as you don't mind me stealing from the Levidian duchy, then we should be okay."
I don't even know
Orlandis-
who that is.
Orlandis is gonna shoot Hanel the look.
And it would be like
Are you fucking serious?
kind of gestures. Hanil looks to reality and says, "Yeah, definitely. Just give us a moment here," and kind of gestures her away. And reality will kind of like sheepishly and kind of like awkwardly kind of leave the table and move away from it. Hanil will then sit in her seat and look at Orlandis. I've really been trying to muster the courage to kind of just think about her for a few minutes. But you do recognize her sword, right?
No.
It's
What
one of the
is
Sentinel
that?
swords.
That's what it is. I've been trying to figure it out this whole time.
Would Orlandis know what a Sentinel sword is?
So his story, when it's mentioned, the Sentinel swords are what were created by the elves in like the Lost Age, the end of the Lost Age, when they sealed the evil sins into their gates.
Oh.
They are supposedly sentient swords that are
Yeah.
quite powerful. But
Okay.
there's also rumor, history, this would be more Astrogoth's boathouse or wheelhouse once the information's kind of dropped out. They're said to have lost their power during the Fourth Age. But even said, they're still supposed to be very expensive relics. And she has one on her belt.
Neat. Cool. Cool.
And
cool.
she's tipping like she
Well,
wants to
that
steal something related
tree.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that tree lost its power, so who's to say that a sword can't get its power back?
That is
Cassian?
also true.
Yeah, I like her. She seems like a kindred spirit.
Just a wayward soul.
We
Doing her
We
best.
will-
Sometimes things catch on fire or get
we will
blown away.
we will come back to that
Next.
later.
That sounds like a no.
Who's next?
Um,
Are you just going
Fuck.
counterclockwise?
no, let's go. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go counterclockwise. Let's hear all these people's stories.
So you'll actually see two people come up at the same time here. Mikhail will bring up the next person on the docket. Mikhail goes, hold on. Oh, sorry. He's a little bit drunk. If he's next, that's fine. Here you go. And just sits him down. His name's Paulton, I think. Okay. Yeah. And
That's
Mikhail,
Mikhail.
I was trying to do Russian, but I guess I need to do French, right?
You need to do like bad French Russian.
No, with Russian, you need to sound
little
like
bit drunk.
this.
He's a bit
Holy-
drunk. You know, he's been drinking too much. So you can, if you want to talk to him, maybe he will help you out or not. But once you're done with
Like
him, am I
him.
next? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I will see you momentarily. Hopefully he does not throw up on your nice shoes.
And hopefully you can remember the accent a few minutes later.
I probably won't. Seriously, he'll probably be Australian. That's usually the way of it.
I mean, that is kind of how the accent went.
I have
though.
called myself out. I do not need your assistance.
No.
in-
I'm not. I'm
Oh,
not
my-
saying you.
Oh,
I'm saying
Kevin, right.
that Kevin.
If I
could
just need to
keep
up
in
the-
his consistent accent.
I need to up the Ray Romano, I think.
Yeah.
I just Kevin though, naturally.
So we're talking to Paulton right
And
now.
he's drunk, and he kind of like is laying there with his face on
Drunk.
the table.
I
He kind
see.
of looks up at you and says, "Oh shit! So what do you three guys want?"
How do you feel about the Dennis
Hold on,
Atkins?
never everybody at once. Holy shit! Just talk one at a time. Why are you guys doing that? It's really annoying.
How do you feel about the Dennis Atkins?
Ugh.
Shut up.
You got hiccups. The
Shield up for throw up.
Ready for it?
rightful rulers and claimants of the Westerlands of Scoria, the lands therein and in between Anundia, claimants on the Mount Balthamir. They have taken over a large portion, if not all, the entirety of the barony of Ulamon. They are respectfully some of the hardest trained combatants the region has seen in the last few centuries. They are most renowned for their Blusa Knights, also known as the Dragoneers, and their magics are ancient and foreign to what we, under the yoke of the conglomerate, have decided to codify as magical dictum. They're fine,
Just
I guess. I don't.
How do you feel about killing them?
I mean, we're gonna be pirates, right?
Yes.
I don't give a fuck about them. They sink all the same.
What are you good at?
Well, I would like to think that my presentation on the historical lore of the Denisovans, just off the cuff like that, would give you an idea that I'm pretty smart. I'm also really inspiring. And he kind of reaches over. Oh, shit. Hey! And he snaps his fingers, and Reality kind of looks over at him. Let me borrow that violin. Let me borrow that violin. She's like, fuck you. And he's like,
Damn, she snapped freaking real quick.
do any of you have an instrument? I don't care what it is. Whatever you got. It's fine. I can do it.
I hand
Nobody?
him a flute. I hand him a flute.
He takes it and goes, okay, hold on. He then kind of sits back, kind of leans back, and he goes, well, wait.
That was the worst music I've ever
No,
heard.
you would know that he wasn't playing music. He was going through a,
Gale.
Scale.
yeah, basically just to hear the notes. He kind of like, he's about to play something. It looks like he's getting very serious. And then he kind of looks at Orlandis and then points down.
Shut up.
Points down at your cup and says, "Are you going to finish that?"
No, why not? You can have it.
Takes it, throws back the entirety of what's remaining, sets it down, and then goes,
Nice.
yeah, perfect. And then starts playing. And Astrogoth, it's probably some of the best music on a random instrument that's thrown in front of somebody that you've ever heard played. This man definitely has a talent. In fact, it's very inspiring. Like
A single tear rolls down my cheek.
he definitely has, like, there's a level of a savant as far as music goes, because again, just handed this instrument. There's no way he could have just off of a single Gale kind of like understood its notes in perfection, and he does so. And then he sets it back down in front of whoever handed it to him, and he says, "I'm really good at that. I'm also really good at talking, like having a conversation. I feel like the right kind of mentality on something is really important to kind of getting through something. And sure, you're probably saying, oh, this is drunk fucking no, he's just drunk, doesn't even matter. But again, your situation definitely has connections to how you feel, and I won't lie, this place sucks, and I kind of want to get out of here. So if you got a boat and you need to kill Bennett Chotvins or whatever, then I'm down.
My favorite part is that he can't
Bennett
remember
Chapman.
their name after doing like
Oh, no,
long
yeah.
ass history on them.
Intentional.
I know. I love it.
Who are the Bennett Chotvins?
But that's actually a very interesting point I want to put forward. Vravik, Astrogoth, just Vravik and Astrogoth. Go ahead and make an insight check. I would say Astrogoth, due to your bardic leanings, you'll have insight or advantage on this insight check.
You have insight on the inside.
16. Vravik.
Open. Insight.
So the two of you are actually very, very knowledgeable of the tells this guy is putting on. He's definitely drank an entire cup of mead. Based on what you've kind of seen throughout the process, the interviewing process, he's been kind of a known element in the bar, like not too outside of your view from up here. He has been drinking. He's been throwing them down. But what the two of you realize is he's faking being very drunk. This is a game to him. And you're realizing that he is a lot more sober than he's letting on, or at least a lot more cognitive in his drunken state than anyone has the right to be. And there's a lot of play going on here.
Respect.
Respect. Well, Vravik's really good at impersonation, so he's just gonna be like, I got you.
So
I
those
would
are my...
like to ask about the device on his wrist.
Oh, Time Orb. He holds it up. And so, Astrogoth would be savvy. Lose and Orlandis probably savvy. Time orbs are usually kept on chains, like a pocket watch, but it seems that he has one kind of like grasped to his wrist for
Oh, that's cool.
time telling.
Hey, man.
Oh, sorry, and I didn't post a picture of him on the stream. I'll go ahead and do that. Paulton Empty Bottle. And those of you who are familiar with Dice Camera Action, yeah, he is a direct rip off of Paulton from that series.
I have no idea what you're
it got-
talking about.
Never seen that.
It was a actual play or a live play D&D game that was hosted by Chris Perkins a long time ago. Character
Gotcha.
played by Nate Lost to Battle. Really fun character, but
Cool.
the series kind of died. And I am ripping it entirely off.
Okay.
No
Art
shame.
inspires art.
Yeah.
True that. True that. Okay. You seem very knowledgeable, and you are good at inspiration.
But I'm not cheap. He says as he kind
I see.
of looks at whoever else is at the table, like looks at them. Who would not be drinking a lot?
Orlando.
Well, you already got yours drank. It's done.
Yeah.
Who else would not be drinking a lot? Astrogoth's already probably onto the second cup, right?
Yeah.
Astrogoth parties. Astrogoth fucks. Cassia?
He party.
I mean, Castia drank while we were in the Feywild, and it triggered
Yeah.
a memory. So now she's like, "I love booze."
Yeah, absolutely.
I love alcohol.
Is Vravik a drinker?
Yes, Varg's a drinker.
And Lose is definitely a drinker. So he's kind of, he says, and I'm not cheap, and he kind of like points at you folks, then he kind of reaches back over for Orlandis' cup, and then looks at the bottle and kind of reaches out for it, but he does so in a fashion where he's looking at everybody to make sure it's like socially acceptable for him to grab it. And as long as no one puts forward any efforts to stop him,
I let him.
grabs the
Yeah.
bottle, pours himself a glass, sets it out in front of Orlandis, and starts drinking. I'll require that we have a full complement of rum on the ship at all times. And when I say full complement, I will be drinking enough for 2, maybe 3 people.
Don't we have
Pretty
an
close.
alchemy jug?
I don't think alchemy jugs create alcohol, do they?
I think they.
I
create-
think
Well,
it's beer.
Yes, wine is one. wine
Maybe,
is one.
maybe his drink of choice is mayo. We didn't ask yet.
Is mayo alcoholic? You
No,
can create 1 gallon of wine per day. I think
that's what it.
that's
That should be
sufficient.
enough for him, right?
Yeah, I think
No,
that's how
he
many
said
bottles?
2 or 3 people.
How many bottles is a gallon?
A gallon isn't a gallon like one of those big like Rosa, Stella Rosa
How many
bottles or whatever they're
bottles
called.
of wine
I don't
would
know.
be
I
a
had a
gallon?
roommate who went through like,
Gallon.
Five
Like
bottles in a
And it's
gallon.
like 4 or 5 bottles, probably.
Yeah, it's
Is
5
that enough
bottles.
for him?
But
Yeah,
it's
that-
wine. It's not gonna get you drunk. It ain't
That
gonna-
should be fine.
But doesn't it also make beer as
4
well?
gallons of beer. Yeah, that the alchemy jug will satisfy him.
All right, we'll give him the alchemy
He will
jug. If...
probably have sex with
No, he
that
won't.
jug.
Don't
There's a lot of-
don't eat the mayo.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I didn't want to have to be the one.
Okay, so let me think about this. Look at the things that are on here.
I don't know that I want to think about it after.
Beer, honey, and wine every day. Like he could
Every
probably just
day.
live off of that.
And he
Every
could
day.
he could after wait, does the honey disappear after you pour it out? After a
No,
time?
they all
Then you
stay.
could make mead.
Yeah, no, they.
You can only
can
make
just
it,
make
it can only make one thing a day, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if he chooses honey, he's stuck with honey for the rest of the
He's
day.
got a gallon of honey. No,
But I mean,
Yeah, you
after
pull,
that day, does the honey disappear? Because
No.
you could technically.
but that'd be a
make-
dry day. So
Yeah.
So he'll probably
But we
just
stick-
could
stick.
stock him up, and then we could make mead.
yeah, 4 gallons of beers and 1 gallon of wine, like one or the other.
That should
like,
be enough.
Four
Or
gallons of beer would be
Cassia
fine,
could
I think.
take the water to wine spell.
That's a lot of beer.
It's also true.
You'd
Sorry,
be
am I
so
Jesus?
bloated. No, Gordir is though.
There is a spell that you can learn.
You're welcome.
It's a first level cleric spell, right?
Yeah,
it is.
you're
Okay.
welcome.
Water, wine.
That was my idea.
Water wine, motherfucker!
Yeah, party. Okay, so are we a yay for Paulton? He will explain that his price is just, again, keeping him drunk.
Yeah, that's fine.
I need
We
to
could
be drunk at
accommodate
least
that.
once per day, but preferably 1 day per drunk.
I like your logic.
Yeah, the math checks out.
I believe we can go
Ben-
with that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not make him a Warforged. In hindsight, that probably would have been better.
Should have. You should have.
Okay, so Paulton in Mikhail next on the docket.
Yes.
Okay. Now, keeping in mind, we have a list. I just want to make sure we know who we have so far. So the boatwright we have is Ikenthoth. The
Yes.
quartermaster we have is Honild.
Yes. Even though she is expensive, but I
Balin.
think it'll be worth it.
And then we
Bear
have
me words.
crew members. We have a few. We said we'd revisit reality. We're not coming back to that one, or are we going to?
I personally feel like she would either burn down the boat or steal everything.
Let's put it to a vote, just to simplify the process. So, Orlandis is that, or sorry, Jonah, is that a no?
That's a nay-no.
Nay-no from Jonah. Elizabeth?
No.
No on reality. We got 2 no's for reality, so we're gonna need a hard yes on the left.
We
on
have
the left side of
3.
the map.
We
Is
have
that
3.
no from
Yeah,
Cassia?
'cause- no, it's
No, I said I've had enough of reality.
True that.
You didn't like her, huh? That's fair.
Don't like reality.
All right, and then we got a Valen and Paulton so far for crew. Now, keeping in mind, we need about 20 folk.
Yeah.
Total. That's including you. So we're looking at hiring quite a few more because now, with what we have, we're up to about 10. Another thing I want to note for just general crewmanship, your sidekicks, Orlandis.
They don't count, right?
Incorrect. So Baltolf and Danica, or Baltolf won't. Danica and Arnold could.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of already have 2 crew members in that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Blocklifter can do chores.
Can Orlandis do 2? Can he do the navigator and captain, or does he have to choose one?
You already have a navigator, do you not?
Yeah, that's me.
No. No, do we?
I can do navigation and captainry.
Yeah, I suppose you
Yeah.
could do both, but again, I thought we had a navigator besides you, didn't we?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, because I remember the only 2. I guess that
It wasn't on the list.
It was on the list. I was asking.
It
If,
was.
I was asking
Oh,
if Hanlon.
Sorry, let me explain. So there are 3 jobs that actually do navigational work. There's no like set navigator. Captain,
Okay.
first mate, quartermaster are expected in a ship that's not yours, you know, like a good one, to have navigatory kind of training. The
Okay.
navigation is handled by the person who's running the shift, and as first mates are required to run shifts and quartermasters are also, it would be
No,
the situation.
Wouldn't we also need a boatswain?
Boatswain is boatswain. Yeah, you've got one. It's Ikenthoth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they can navigate, but I mean, not often are they the ones who will do that. They're mostly just about the maintenance of the ship.
Okay.
But yeah, quartermasters are kind of like just like the crew relations person. So good choice on Honild. Morrison probably would have been a good choice. I think the worst of the 3 you saw was my favorite. But
4 arms.
yeah, you didn't talk to him enough to get to the
Forehead.
depths of his pompousry. Anywho, Mikhail. We're talking to Mikhail.
I actually do have a question.
Shoot.
Would it be possible for Orlandis to get trained in ships? Not ships, vehicle ships or vehicle water?
Vehicle water. So yeah, I said there was someone who would train you in that in the town. It takes 3 days for training on a tools. So if you stay here for that, it would cost money.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
believe it's 500 per person who wants to take the training.
Okay. I got 200 on me. I just need to.
Again, you have the
40,000. 45,000 plus gold. In the...
That's
got
true.
the
That's
cash.
true.
But keep in mind, like, we are hiring people. So
Yeah.
far, we haven't had any huge hires yet. So
Well, we have one.
Hanlon's. decent.
Haneld is fucking She's expensive.
Yeah, she's pretty
she's
pricey.
fine. We were being third in command.
She's not that bad.
And again, if you want to retreat with Morrison to see if he'll stay on as a lower position, you could do that. But again, he's probably not going to shift his price.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Well, if we
having
hire him
him,
for a year, he might, or 6 months.
yeah,
Oh,
I think
he
having
would
him
for that certainly that would be a renegotiation.
I think having him in the sniper's nest or the bird's nest would be really fucking good.
He said he liked it.
Yeah.
To go ahead and just simplify that process, the renegotiation on that, he says if he's doing a 6-month stint and he's not required to do any quartermasterly tasks, he will of course request cut since it's changed slightly.
Yeah.
The plan, but he will require a salary of 500 gold pieces for a 6-month stint in that lower position.
Okay.
You down with that?
Yeah.
I'll put Morrison down as a general improvement.
Mm.
And then, since we already talked to her and she said she wanted to get to some piratery, she is a murderer. She told you what she likes to do. She is
Yep.
She's a boarder. She wants to fight. So that would be.
Will she be Lose's sparring buddy?
She would.
Hell yeah, hired.
But she
We'll
also
fucking fight you, bro.
she also has a pay requirement is 100 gold pieces per month, and so
Mm.
since you're going 6 months, she wants 600 up front.
Okay. It's not that bad.
Again, you've fallen into a group that has kind of like a swaying dynamic. People who want to go places, like they might be cheaper, like you're about to find out here with Mikhail. But people who don't want to go places and are actually serious about making money, they are. So Valen was free. Just room and board. Paulton was free. Plus beer. Plus booze.
Just shoot him the alchemy jug and he'll be good.
Morrison 500.
Just gotta feed him.
Ickenthoth was super cheap. I already forgot how much I said. What
This is 100.
100 gold for like
Yeah.
3 weeks. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure if we hire him on for
He's gonna be
the
100.
6 months.
He's gonna be 100 gold for each month. So we'll go ahead and put him down for 600.
Okay.
For
Uh,
Ickenthoth?
Yeah,
Ickenthoth. Yeah.
Ickenthoth.
He was basically.
Oh.
I'm basically rounding him up to 100 per month. He was saying 100 per 2 weeks, but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's not super set on cash. Also, he's the cheapest of the boat's right options. I won't
But
say
he's the
for a
best,
reason.
though.
And
He's
then
a floaty guy.
we could always hire him some help, though.
750 per quarter, which means she wants, and she also wants the year contract, so year up front for Honeld.
No, she said 1,500
Sorry.
for 6 months.
That's right.
6 months, yeah.
That's right. I was getting her mixed up with
Forehand.
Yeah.
Forehand wants the
Forehand.
750
Yeah.
per
Yeah.
quarter and a full year up front.
15.
He's trying to rob us.
He was getting into serious business. He wasn't trying to set up a contract.
Trying to
For
rob
short
us is
term.
what he was trying to do.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mikhail, let me get my French accent on. Here we go. Let me fuck it up.
Oh, bon Dieu.
So, I was told you are wanting to go to Parnak. Is that true?
Well, there have been a few changes. We will
Oh.
not be going to Parnak.
Oh, that's too bad. That's where I'm trying to get to, and that's why when Hanilta mentioned it, I was very interested. I don't know if I will be the right fit for you. What are you planning now? What are you going to be getting into?
First, we wish to go to Penford, and to
Okay.
do that, we will have to go through the pirate lords, quote unquote.
That is
Area.
where I was planning on heading as well, but only to continue on to Parnak. Then where are you going after you do this?
We do plan on coming back down to deal with Dennis Atvins.
Have you ever fought Dennis Hotman before?
Several times.
And you lived, you succeeded, you defeated them?
Yes, as you can see.
And so you are aware that the kind of magic and the kind of tactics that they use are absolutely savage, devastational to common folk. They are horrid, they are terrible people. You are planning on fighting them. You
Orlandus gets like a real serious look on his face. I do not plan on fighting them. I plan on ending them.
We did get them out of our city, or our town, so there's that.
I come from a town not too far from here. It's called Gateneath. It's on the peninsula to the south of here, of Ulaman. I had a very it was a very tense situation. I was a person of power there, not just a traveler like I am now. I had a winery. In fact, everyone who brewed or bottled in the town, they did so through me.
Mm.
I was dear friends with the lady of the town, the matriarch, and the priesthood. Everyone, the constabulary, everyone was friends with me. Peaceful life. When I was young, my dad was the one who had all of these. And I knew that in time I would have to take over his responsibilities. I knew it in my heart that I would have to one day be in this town living peacefully. My brother was very sick, all throughout his life, really. And I decided very early on that I knew if I was to get out of town, do something with my life, I'd have to do it early. Got back and I felt like I'd led a very good life. I got into some trouble, some very harsh trouble in Stormloft, in Barnet. Worked alongside some very notorious people. It was a rush, really.
Of
And I
madness.
Felt like, yeah, oh, okay. Roll credits. And I felt like that would have been the last of it, but then sometimes trouble comes and finds you. My brother died because I couldn't get him out of the town. The person who was there to care for him, his nurse, was butchered by Dennis Othmans in my home. In my home. We were forced to rely on someone who had their own ideas on what to do, who wouldn't help us directly. In the end, they tried some strange magic with a book or something. Very obnoxious. And when the lady relocated and took over a town that's Lord had passed due to Dennis Othman madness, she asked me if I wished to stay. And I told her to stay on this peninsula is suicide. The Dennis Othmans will come for everyone and destroy them. I never really got a chance to fight them because I was always trying to protect someone else. But I don't know you. And I genuinely do not care if you live or die. And because of that, I will help you. And if you are half as good as your words, then we will kill some Dennis Hutchins together, I think.
There's a little bit of a smile that goes on Orlandus' face. That is good.
I will say this, though. Very suddenly kind of leans forward. A knife comes out of nowhere and he slams it into the table in front of you. The knife in question is a combat knife. Bravik, looking at the make of it, you're like, Mardigan. Like, you already know the thieves guild that like is responsible for it. Slams it into the table in front of Orlandus and then looks at him. If you run away, if you cower, I will kill you, and Hanild will take your place as captain of your ship.
Does he still have the hand on his knife?
He's holding it down, yeah.
He's gonna put a hand on top of the knife, and he's gonna say, I do not run. I face all that is in front of me.
He smiles. Like it's the devilishly handsome smile that you see in his picture there, which I haven't
Look,
posted.
yeah.
But he just gives you that devilishly handsome look, and he says, "We will kill many Dennis Hopkins together." I think.
I do hope. And he takes his hand off of his neck.
He actually takes a second to like unwedge his dagger from the table, which you're like, not the greatest dismount.
It's okay. It's okay.
He
It's
I
has,
thought
okay.
his.
The presentation
What-
was
What was that, Zach?
I was gonna say I thought his arm was in a cast.
Oh
based
no
off
no
the
no!
picture.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, no, it's like a half cape. It's actually his. He's a noble, so this is
Cool.
noble marker. Yeah, it was kind of a. I should have done more shadowing on it. Whatever.
It's
But
okay.
he'll unwedge his dagger. He will leave, and we have another addition to the crew. Now, again, we are obviously going through this a little bit slower than I anticipated, but
It's
still loving
okay.
it.
We need the backstories.
We do. We really need these backstories.
He did, yeah, because they are going to be important. He doesn't ask for any currency. He will go with Honild. And again, it seems like these people have already been kind of prepped before they talk to you by Honild. So you can take that as concerning or not if you want to. But apparently they understand what their percentage is going to be on the
Okay.
take.
Yeah. So, like, after we talk to everyone and stuff, and, like, we're probably gonna say yes, but we do want to ask Hanild afterwards, like,
Mhm.
what exactly are they taking? Like, especially the people that say nothing about currency.
So if you want to do that real quick, basically percentage-wise, when it comes to what is brought in,
Mhm.
your side of it takes 40% of all booty that is acquired in the privateering process. And that is a hard take for the captain.
Yeah.
If she deems it necessary to include any members of your crew, basically the people you're bringing in with you,
Mhm.
she will add them into the take, which will be the 60%. The 60% is then evenly distributed amongst all parties.
That's fine then.
It's what's known as a lion's share for the quartermaster mentality. Basically, in a
Yeah.
pirate ship, the captain needs a taste to be able to keep the ship afloat, and you're going to
Yeah.
use that 40 to pay these people,
Mhm.
but they earned it. Like, they're the ones
Yeah.
that are going
Yeah,
out there
yeah.
and putting their shit on the line.
It makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes sense, especially because she's including everyone else and not just her own crew or her friends.
Yeah, another thing too to note is there is a priority as well. So the captain has priority. So if there are items of interest to you in a collection, you would basically say, I need that, or I want that. That's for me, or that's for the ship, or that's for someone I want to give it to. So you would
Or the
have
word
to-
of power, dibs.
Yeah, the word of power is dibs. Correct. And
Dibs!
after that, it goes to the quartermaster for dibs, and then after
Mhm.
that, it goes to the first mate. So you see, it's kind of a you, me kind of situation. Because the
Okay.
first mate is usually assumed to be someone that is hired on or trusted by the captain. Sometimes there is no first mate, like, because that person is usually just, whoever's able to kind of rise to the occasion. Anyway,
Okay.
we already got Miavar. We already got her hired. I'll be honest.
We have to talk to the summer combatant.
The what?
The summer combatant.
Summer combatant.
Metal arms.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, he
Summer.
on my notes, he is very much written to be combative with you and not liked. We can roleplay
Oh,
that, or
shit.
we can just
Okay.
skip him because your call. What do you want to do? I see a pass
Is it-
hand from Elizabeth.
No,
Pass hands. Because again,
Okay,
yeah,
alright.
I'm gonna make you not want to hire.
I'll
the
go. I'll go with my first mate. I'll go with my first mate's opinion.
guy. She doesn't like the cut
Fuck
of his
that
shit.
guy.
Yeah, he's
Just
just
like
a
the way
piece
he
of shit.
He's not even wearing a shirt.
Right.
Fucking
He's
shirtless
pretty, and that makes him
bastard.
ugly to me.
Yeah.
So then the next would be defeat.
The elf lady.
She sits. She looks over at you kind of timidly and says, I'm really mostly just interested in finding a way back into the Feywild, you see. I'm from north of here a bit, and I've kind of, well, there was a magical mishap about 130 years ago, which, out of character note, this is not chronologically similar to when the tree died, or tree had no power. This seems to be something different. And I ended up in a small little town, Cardent or something, and I just didn't want to be there. And I've traveled around the region, but again, the Denisothans have made it very hard for me to move around. And every ship that comes through here isn't really interested in me being on their ship.
Well, the good news is I'm also looking for the Feywild.
Oh, okay. Well, great.
What can you do?
I've got typical training that elves will go through. She kind of gestures to Lose. I know how to use the sword, the bow. I have done some study in the arcane arts. I was wanting to become a Twilight Knight, but I didn't make the cut. I wasn't very good at wearing armor. I've never really been on a boat before. Well, just the one time. Well, yeah.
How's your cooking?
I'm not terribly good at cooking. I mostly just eat my food raw.
Understandable.
And
Can you climb?
I can. Yeah, I'm
Ropes.
capable.
You'll be fine.
So the reason why I guess I should probably just mention it. The reason why most folks don't want me to be on their ship is well, the sea elves don't like me. Yeah, and the merfolk and the tritons.
What to do to piss them off?
Well, when I first was shunted out of my home, Einkarad.
Hey, that's where I'm from.
Oh yeah. Oh, you kind of look familiar. Are you related to Pyria?
Yeah, that's my sister. I'm
Oh,
Lose.
shit.
Oh, I can kind of see it. Oh, you're the one that got lost well before me.
Not lost. I was forcibly married, and then I just never came back.
That sounds like something her sister would say. Pyria always said you were lost.
You know,
Yeah, she was kind of
Lost.
fluff-headed anyway, so I guess it makes sense.
yeah.
But
She was young.
I was out here looking for friends, and well, I found some sea elves. Excuse me. Excuse me. That was me, not her.
Die.
Yeah, word.
She starts joking.
Damn,
So-
that's the elf curse manifests in a weird way.
Talking is it's helpful for the runny nose, but it's not great because it just dries me out.
Hot tea.
I'm gonna drink cola.
Mai Tai.
I'm gonna drink cola.
You know what's even better than
Can't see it, but I'm
than
super-
tea?
Hot Thai.
Baja Blast. That'll clear out
Oh
the
my God,
sinuses.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Baja
There
blasted.
you go. Let's go get a Baja Blast.
I
So
don't clear the sinuses though.
there's a sea elf, or rather, kind of a
Maybe if you snort it.
grouping of folks, town underneath the waves near the Ordric Island or Ordris Islands, known as Koanar, and some folks from Koanar were near to where I was, and I went with them. We spent some time on the Bridge Island, and I guess they thought that I was someone of importance for some reason. I don't know why they would think that. It might be because I told them that was the case. And so they were hoping to marry me, and I did my best to try and not do that. But then I was betrothed, and before we made it to Koh-i-Noor, I ran away. And so the Sea Elves have been looking for me ever since. And the one boat that I was on was attacked by a small squad of Tritons who apparently are able to track me. I don't know how or why.
Did you take anything with you?
No. And you see her hand kind of dip underneath the table.
Insight check.
Bravik, I would say because of your angling, you'd probably be able to see. It does look like she's kind of handling something at her belt, but I'd like for you to go ahead and make a perception check to solidify that. Like, whether or not you see what she's messing with.
Perception or insight?
Perception, because you're looking at it.
Okay.
I'm
Come on,
leaving you.
baby.
Well, they're both the same. Did you
Oh.
roll insight on... Oh, no. You
No,
rolled
that
insight.
was earlier.
Ah, boo.
It's just something on her belt. You're not sure what it is, but it definitely seems like she's kind of like grasping it as if she... It definitely was reactionary, like to her saying no, and then immediately kind of went for it. So like the insight check is like an auto success. The perception check to see what she's kind of grasping is not.
Then I try to steal it.
I almost steal it.
Yeah, if you want to, you can make a sleight of hand check.
Oh my god.
Do it!
This is how it all ends.
I was just gonna reach over here with my tail and try to take it. Oh,
What did
God!
you roll? Oh,
No,
Jesus.
nothing. Don't look at it.
If there's inspiration spending that one needs to be done or wants to be done.
Oh wait.
I'll spend it. I'll spend it.
Okay. So you head over, like you're going to go get a drink, and your hand kind of drops down, very subtly. Nobody really notices, and this is after, like a moment after, like she finishes that sentence and kind of leads into the next bit of questioning, like she's kind of relinquished it because she's no longer thinking about it. You grasp it, pull it free. Whatever it was, it feels kind of vial-like a vial, some sort of glass container. And once you get it free and about a foot away from her, everybody in the room needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
God damn. Okay.
Oh, I've done it. I've killed us all.
Let's fucking
God,
go.
that was a 23. Oh, no.
Okay. So if you pass a 13, you're just kind of like, your hair's kind of blown back, your articles of clothing are kind of thrown back from that position. Everything on the table kind of shifts in one direction, away from whatever he's holding. She kind of falls forward a bit. The chairs that are seated by the people who did not pass that DC 13 are kind of thrown backwards as you're kind of thrown ass over tea kettle. Nobody goes flying over the balcony or anything crazy, but everything just kind of shifts. Like
Can I
with this-
catch my bug?
Yeah, with this kind of pulse, and the feel of it is almost like the ghost of the ocean kind of just smashed against you for a second. And as that happens and the thing starts glowing, it starts glowing like very heavily in your hand, Bravik. And she kind of turns to look to you and says, "Why did you do that?" And she reaches for it. Do you let her take it or do you try and keep it?
Yeah, I hand it back to her.
Okay, she takes it, and as she's holding it, she starts whispering words into it in Elvish. And basically, Lose, what she's reciting appears to be like a lullaby, like a child's lullaby to lull an Elvish child to sleep. And she's like saying it into the glowing vial, and as it does, the light slowly starts to cool down, And she kind of looks at you. Why did you do that? And she puts it into her bag, very kind of timidly. I don't think I can be a member of your crew. I'm so sorry. And she kind of gets up and starts walking away from you. Unless you want to interject and try and get her attention to stay, she is going to walk away.
I mean, fucking Orlandis has no idea what's going on. What?
I'm
what
going to step. Vravik will step in front of her. What is that?
Nope. Stop, please. I gotta get out of here. Please let me go.
Wait, could you tell us what that is?
It's nothing important.
It seems pretty important.
It's
Why did it react that way when it left your possession?
It's what happens every time. And they're gonna be here probably in a day or so. It'll probably be easier for them to track it if it's on a boat. So I'm glad it didn't happen then. I'm glad your curiosity was tested now. When
Orlandis is gonna.
when a sea elf is requesting someone's hand in marriage, they give a gift of very, very substantive importance. It's tradition. I know in human societies, also a bit in ours, gesturing to Lose, usually the gift is nothing more than a ring worth money, worth coin, or as representation of a dowry, or just as a representation of their true love. This is his aunt. He raises the vial. She raises the vial
Oh.
up, and now looking at it, it kind of glows a little bit more, and you can see inside what appears to be a very small fey spirit, kind of moving around inside. But as it moves around, you realize it's moving around as if it were made out of fluid.
Mm.
That's his aunt?
Yeah.
Could you not return it?
If I did, then I would have to see him again. And I don't want to marry him.
Well, you don't have to marry him, just return it to him.
I don't think I could say no to him.
Do
So
you love him?
do like him?
It's complicated.
Are you just scared?
I'm only 160. I haven't even really gotten into my life, you know?
Look, I understand that. I was married pretty young too.
I'm only like 60 days old, I think. I don't know.
can't
You
be-
are, but you're not married yet.
You can't be more than 300, right? You've had a bit of freedom, and it's something that I haven't really had much of.
I've been
out-
married 3 times.
Why?
Bored. They could fight.
Did they die or something?
Yeah.
guess-
Humans.
Oh. Oh, that's weird. I mean, I guess some folks enjoy it.
It's alright.
I don't know.
You shouldn't be scared though.
No, it's not scared. I guess it's a
Marriage
little bit-
isn't the end of is not the end of adventure. Unless you have kids, then that ties you down a bit. But that's not a requirement. I know plenty of people who have lived an entire human lifespan.
Well, it is a bit of a problem for me to do what I want in adventure if every time something happens with her, it leads to them being able to find me, and they try to.
Is it because you haven't married him though?
His father is very adamant about me returning to Kohanar.
And staying?
Yeah,
Well, maybe we could talk to him.
he's a prince.
Royalty.
Lose can be very persuasive.
I love him. I do. I just don't love who he is. Do you know what
You
I
don't
mean?
love the prince aspect of him?
Yeah, I don't want to be chained to another. I lived in Einkarad, free. I was bound away from it, unable to return because of. Oh my god, why is my notes not. She says the guy's name who's Pyria's husband. And I don't know why I don't have his name right on deck, ready to go.
Mr. Pyria.
Yeah, Mr. Pyria.
Yeah, Mr. Lose's sister. Brother, man.
Mr. Lose's sister brother.
She says his name is the
Um.
person who magically disjunctioned her out of Eingrad.
Oh. Amarath.
That's right, Amarath.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
I
honestly,
wanted,
it's for the best. It's kind of gone to shit.
I wanted to go back, even still, and I haven't been able to. And I want to marry him, but I don't want to live that life. But to sum it up, since I just realized it's 10, she says, "If you want, I will travel with you, but I cannot promise that you won't have to deal with the problems that I present."
We can talk to him.
Okay, well, 50 gold pieces a month. Is that fair?
Yeah, no more hiding things from us.
You got it. All right, so that's an ad, and we will continue, I think, because this is going pretty well.
Hey.
We will begin next session with you're skipping the ship shape, and we'll
Yeah.
be moving on to Agnes the Red. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching those that did, and we will see you next Friday.
Bye.
Wee.